Behind the Ramble is proudly sponsored by GLASBY Pallets. They're offering a one-stop solution for all of your pallet needs. Get in touch on 01709 585 646 to discuss your pallet requirements. Thank you to Sonny and the team at GLASBY Pallets for all their support of Behind the Ramble.
Coops here. Subscribe to BTR Ramble. Keep following, and all the best.
Behind the Ramble is proudly sponsored by GLASBY Pallets. They're offering a one-stop solution for all of your pallet needs. Get in touch on 01709 585 646 to discuss your pallet requirements. Thank you to Sonny and the team at GLASBY Pallets for all their support of Behind the Ramble.
Coops here. Subscribe to BTR Ramble. Keep following, and all the best.
What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blades Ramble. And just when you think you are getting on top of the technology takes over you. So apologies for that there. It didn't tell me where it usually tells me that we were live. So I didn't think we were live. So I then double-checked everything and started the intro again. Turns out we were live all along. But, you know, we'll fix it. We'll be right. We are here today for Manchester City versus Juventus in the last 16 of the Club World Cup. So, two absolute titans of European football. I've been really looking forward to this game. And I will not be alone, because joining me for his first ever watch-along, so be kind, it's Brett. How's it going, pal?
All right, mate. Don't have to be kind. I'm used to nasty. Bit of banter. All right.
Always got to be kind. Always got to be kind.
As long as it drives subscription up.
You what, mate?
As long as it makes subscription up, we'll be all right.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. As long as people are kind to me after that extreme faux pas, I do apologise. But, you know, what I was told when I first started learning this, pal, was this will be like you'll become your show's producer as well as the presenter. Well, I've never had any desires to be a producer of a show. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not technically minded at all. And the purpose of this is so that there is a much easier way of doing it. You plumb it into what's called a stream deck. That's what I've started doing on some of the other shows on the main channel. I just press a couple of buttons and it's right. But the right way to learn things is to strip everything back and learn it. And that has been really hard for me. So I'm still getting a few technical issues, but we'll get there, pal. We will get there.
Hey,
anyway, mate.
Baffled me just seeing all options.
I know. It baffles you. I'm supposed to know how to use them. So listen, mate, how the devil are you? I know you have started appearing a little bit more regularly over the last few weeks and things like that. It's been great to see. Been on Hot Topic. Is it a couple of times now on Hot Topic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, yeah. Love that, pal. What I want to know is, before we get into this game, because we all know what happens on these streams. I know you watch the streams. You're often commenting on them as well. And we've just spoke about it briefly beforehand. These tend to be, I'm sure it'll be a great game tonight. I'm looking forward to it with these two teams. But it tends to disseminate into Sheffield United discussion, as you know. So the question on Haribo, if you let Dave the Nose take the reins. So lesson learned. He will never be seen on this channel again. But until in next days. But
you need him.
I know. Well, too right to do. He's the sensible one. What do you think, mate? I'm asking all the blades that regularly contribute. What are your thoughts now? Because again, something we briefly touched on was you are seen to be quite a positive blade. Brett, the positive blade, who likes to be optimistic about the future and puts a spin on things. But you were pretty annoyed, weren't you, about the change initially? Is that fair to say? How are you feeling now that things are starting to settle a little bit?
I'm feeling good, to be fair. I wasn't so much annoyed as in it was just, I thought it was a bit of an unnecessary gamble, to be fair. Like, I just thought you guaranteed a better season with Wilder. But
Yeah.
if you're starting a project, I can see the point. Like I think, like I say, I had a chat with Dave in chat, and he was basically not putting good points to it, but reasons why owners have done it. And like you say, if they're going to build a project, it's better to start building it now. So I'm more excited this start of this season than I've had most of the seasons, because it's the unknown, isn't it, really? We don't know how he's going to play, really, other than eye pressing, energetic.
Are you getting more excited as the time goes on? Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
You don't have to be. It's not a definite yes. I'm not trying to lead you down a road of saying the same thing, but a lot of
As
people.
a Sheffield United fan, as excited as I've been.
A lot of us have been. A lot of us have sort of taken a bit of time to get used to it. Is probably fair to say.
Yeah.
And what we're finding in the chat, in a lot of the comments, is particularly those that had quite a strong reaction. Jamie Dumpling is a prime example. Not to single Jamie out, but he's a regular on the channel. He knows what we think of him here, so he knows this is not a criticism at all. But he was quite upset when it first happened and sort of quite reactionary. And he's had a chance to sort of listen to a couple of interviews and a couple of other little bits that's come out about Sayers, which is how we say his name.
Hey, you got it, look.
I'm getting it, mate. I'm getting it slowly but surely. He's had a chance to have a listen to things, and the more he hears and the more he sort of does a little bit of reading up and stuff like that, we're not saying it was the right thing to sack Chris Wilder, but what we are saying is under Ruben Sayers, it may not be a huge step down, or it may still, we are allowed to be a little bit excited about where we could go now as well.
Yeah. I think as well, like the biggest thing I was saying earlier to my dad about it is I've sort of like not writ off the first 10 games, but no system's going to start. I can't see me sitting ground running, so I can see it taking time to bed in. And the worst thing that can happen when that's happening is fans get on your back and they want immediate results. If you're doing a new system, you can't produce a new system that set clubs going to have for 10 years or whatever, a new model.
Yeah.
And expect it in first 10 games to take off flying. Do you know what I mean? So
you say this, and you're right. 9 times out of 10, that is absolutely the usual way things go. My counter to that would be Chris Wilder did it last season, and I don't mean I don't mean like a completely different way of doing everything.
His new system, yeah.
In terms of system, it were a completely different system, and there were 5 or 6 or 7 different players in there, and we got off to an absolute flyer. But that is an anomaly, really. That is something that doesn't happen an awful lot. I think we're all in a similar boat last season where we were saying, I'm going to give him a little bit of time, actually. I'm going to give him a bit of time and see what situation is with this, because if we'd have started off slow last year, I don't think anybody would have been upset.
Yeah,
we could see what Wilder were doing longer term. So it's a really interesting one in terms of how we think we're going to start out of the blocks, because we've seen it before.
To be fair, I think because Wilder's a different manager into Wilder is a results manager. Like, you never think you're going to have a fantastic game. You're not going to see a free flowing attack, but you think he's going to pinch you 1-0 here, kind of thing. So
yeah,
I think that's why he'll get away with it. Do you know what I mean? Because we had no team, to be fair. How many first team starters that left were ridiculous at the start of last season? I don't think a lot of people kind of remember that as well. You know, at fans.
Yeah, that's right.
We had nothing. He had about half a window to build. And yeah, fair enough. They didn't really support him. They gave him Tom Cannon, which were offered to him. And they did support him with loans like BBD and stuff. But loans are loans. If they don't pay off, you know what I mean? It's hard because they're not your player. It's not like you can say, well, you need to work on this for next season. They don't belong to you, do they, sir?
That's right. That's right, mate. Let's get in some comments then before game starts. Jamie Dumpling starts us off. Evening, guys. Good luck, Brett. Hey, up! How are you? How are you doing?
Are you all right?
Yeah.
Where have you been at Brownies?
No, Beavers.
Beavers.
Oh, Beavers. Beavers.
So
what have you done at Beavers tonight?
We've been doing our tent thing.
But
I got scratched a bit on my knee.
Oh no, that's no good, is it?
It's time for your bed.
My girls go to Brownies. My girls go to Brownies, so they're the same as you, really. My girls are 9. And they've just been the other day. And they were doing pop-up cards too.
Oh. Is that it?
No.
Oh, she's gone to get stuff. She should be showing you toys.
All right. It's not the first time a woman's walked away from me while I've been talking to her.
Oh, I've had plenty.
Evening, guys. Good luck, Brett. Quick question. Are you still using StreamYard? If not, what is the software? No, mate. It is completely different from StreamYard. As you already asked me, it's technical issues, Jim. Intro keeps repeating. Yes, mate. Technical issues. So is it a 3-person watch along this? Because I'd have changed the frames if I'd have known.
Oh, you know what I mean? I told you.
Why can I not see this?
Because it's reverse camera. It's the magic of TV.
Absolutely. This is where the magic happens.
It's full production value, this.
Where Jimmy goes wrong with absolutely everything. Maurice says, evening, lads. Good luck, Brett. You'll smash it, surely, mate. I'll be cheerleading you on up the blades, up the ramble.
Cheers, Maurice.
Up the Brett.
Now I can see.
Gibson.
yeah, full name. Yeah, I didn't want to chuck it out there. Deb says, evening, Jimmy and Brett. What do you both think about playing Birmingham on the 12th of August in the Carabao Cup? What are your thoughts, mate? Oh, what's happened to the camera? Are you gone? It's all right, mate. Oh no, hang on. What's going off here? It's not showing you on my screen. Let's see if you're still on the live. Don't know. You're quite let me see if I can get you back on, mate. From the here in the night. At the end of I don't know where you. I can hear you, but I can't see you. So, did something knock then? Did you knock camera at all? Or all right, that's very strange. Okay. Don't know what's happened there, pal. To be honest. Well, that's not a great start, is it? So can you see the screen that I'm sharing with you? That it's just a black image. Okay. So let us know in the comments if you can see Brett, because I can't on mine. Oh, they said they can't see or hear you. I'll tell you what, mate. Do you want to come out and go back into the link, and I'll bring you back in if that's all right when I can see you. Right, dudes. Thank you for letting me know. I really appreciate that. So yes, Jamie, to answer your problem, pal. Answer your question. Technical issues? Yes. Debs, I'm going to answer your question. In terms of playing Birmingham on the 12th of August in the Carabao Cup, I don't like it. I'm not a huge fan of the competition. It is the secondary cup competition in the country that we're all aware of, but I would have liked an opportunity to firstly play at home, and secondly to have progressed in the competition. So let me see if we can get young Brett back in. Let's have a go. I think it might be a different link, the same link this, so we'll soon find out. Do you hear me?
You've gone there. Oh, I'm back. Well, you can't swap sides. Oh no, you've just lost about 1,000 subscribers now. Oh, see, if that had been Man Mountain, you'd have doubled him.
Look at that. We are back. I tell you, technical whiz, me. I can solve anything.
Boy.
My way, and I can get it solved. So Debs was asking, we haven't kicked off yet, so I am keeping half an eye. We are here for a watch along, as per.
Sorry, I'm bound.
But we aren't. Is it on adverts for you? Are you watching on DAZN?
Yeah, it's just on. Well, it's just come back on now.
Yeah, it's just come back on for me as well. In fact, we'll get ready because I think it's going to kick off any second.
Well, I get that timer on.
But tell me, while I'm sorting my timer out, what your thoughts are on playing Birmingham in the Carabao Cup away, second game of the season.
Not an easier game that I thought of. I thought I'd have preferred somebody. I thought I would have somebody a bit easier. But again, like I say, they're probably not going to play the full team anyway, so it'll be a good.
Yeah, we kicked off. We're off. We're off.
Yeah,
we're
just gone
sorted. Nice
12, 13.
No, I'm
A bit front.
I'm behind. I'm in line with timer on screen. So
I'm about 5 seconds.
Are you in front?
Yeah, about 5 seconds. I'll pause it.
Why not?
Okay.
Why not?
Yeah, Birmingham could have had an easier game. I'd like to have been at home so we could have played. I think we'll play some at kids anyway, but it's like then we go out of competition possibly, isn't it? So, nice as evening, gents. Hope all is well. Go on, Brett, smash it, pal. Seen a few more rumours out today. Now seems to be getting more frequent. Up the blades, up the ramble, up behind the ramble. Like and subscribe. Thank you, Nige. David says, evening, Jimmy and the newbie. Good luck, Brett. Eyes on you. Nice one.
Oh, cheers. He's kept doing that in chat.
I haven't been able to keep up with chat today at all. I do apologise. I've been.
Well, surprised. You were up till 3, weren't you?
I were up till 3, but I haven't been. I wish I'd have been sleeping, mate, and recovering. But I've been trying to schedule all the stuff now. We know all fixtures. So.
You've got all your thumbnails.
Well, I've got all my thumbnails done. Yeah, we will get in front. I promise. One day. That is the plan. That is the aim. I've got I'm off to an action coach conference tomorrow. Or my business group now, and I have to at least make John believe that I'm doing something. Hi, Jimmy. You heard anything by Hamer going to Holland? No, Andy. No, I haven't. To be honest, but people raised it in the fixtures ramble we did over on Blades Ramble today. Let me know that those rumours about PSV had come out. I'm not convinced. I hadn't really seen out yet, if I'm honest. Nige says, just don't drop the stream for your tea, pal. Don't see Mr. Dumpling doing that. Yeah, exactly right. I think that's what happened. I think Brett got his tea, went off into the dark. No, he didn't, to be fair. I could see him. He was behind the scenes. I don't know if you could hear him because a lot of people were saying they couldn't, which we might end up coming to in a minute in the comments. But he was still there. There was nothing that changed. I don't know what. Something dropped out. I'm not entirely what show went on there. This is the view from the mountain. Says, evening, lads. Both of these through, so should relax and go for it in this game. Juventus are a good side. Yeah, completely agree, pal. Playing match bingo tonight. Hopefully, we've picked up a decent card or two. I've been told to let you know that match bingo is running now. It's just been confirmed that they're going to be doing all the women's Euros games, which our mate Gaz Dunn will have a keen interest in refereeing at the women's game and things like that. So if you're interested in that, we won't be doing any watch-alongs of the women's Euros, but that has been confirmed that Match Bingo are now doing it if that's something that you want to get involved in. Matt says, evening, guys. Hope you're all good. What channel is this on, guys? Talking about fixtures. January looks awful for us. Always best to get them out of the way early. In terms of this game, Matt, it's City on the attack, actually. Crossed in from the right.
Doku.
Out to Doku, yeah. Deep.
It's about the only one I know.
He's a player, Doku.
Rouge.
Coming into his own a bit.
Yeah. I say the rest.
Oh, what a save!
Oh,
just
out for a corner.
Out for a corner. Great chance for City there. Right. What was I saying then? So this game is on DAZN, pal. It is free to watch, free to air on DAZN. They will try and push you to a premiere version of it, which is paid.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, do not be fooled. Do not be fooled. There is a free version. In terms of the fixtures, what were your thoughts on the fixtures, Matt? I agree, Brett. I agree with Matt that January does look awful, but I think start looks okay and finish looks good as well. To be honest,
yeah. Well, I think it's well. As you say, it's hard to judge what your first games want to be because we don't even know what style we're playing.
No, that's true.
Obviously, after last year, you'd want Bristol because after 2 games we played against them, if we had Wilder in charge, but then again, I suppose they've got new managers now, haven't they? So
It'll
Well,
probably be
well,
two completely different teams playing two
Yeah.
completely different styles, won't it? And
I'm glad we're at home first game.
Struber's a good manager as well. Like he did a good job at Barnsley. Carl Fowler tells me all the time how brilliant he is. So it's
Premier League.
whether he is or he ain't, all hail Gerhard Struber, or whatever he's called. Ian says, evening, Jimmy, Brett, and all the Ramblers. You've got a hard act to follow. Just been watching Dumpling's World of Amazement as he unboxed his new tripod. Yeah, I saw that as well. Talk about exclusive content on the Platinum Ramblers chat. Unbelievable that. Jamie Dumpling doing an Amazon review of his new tripod. For his
I don't know. It's going there in grand. It's massive. It's bigger than him.
You think it's small, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm like, wow, what is going on here? What am I stumbling
See some
across?
bald spots with that.
Could be worse. Look at the pigs, says Matthew. Absolutely right, pal.
Yeah.
Evening all, says Tom. In fact, speaking of fixtures, actually, and speaking of the pigs and all that sort of thing, I've just been planning out the opening weekend for fixtures. And oh my, are we going to be busy? We have got we're starting off with a rivals watch along on the Friday night, which is Birmingham against Ipswich, the first game of the championship season. We're then going to do a watch along on Saturday, early doors, Southampton against Wrexham at 12:30 before travelling to Bramall Lane for United's game against Bristol City at 5:30. Obviously, we'll be doing 90 after 90 straight after that. And then I'm going to do another rivals watch along on the Sunday, which is Leicester against the Wendy's. Come on, you Foxes, before 3MB that evening. So, yes, very busy opening weekend. You wouldn't expect all less, would you? Wouldn't expect all less.
Yeah, but when you're going to do Ubering?
Yeah, but if you sit still in one place all weekend, you don't make any mess. So you don't need to do any Ubering. There you go. Michael says Ipswich have an absolutely brutal start at St Andrews, then against Southampton. I've not really looked at any other teams' calendars. So let's hope they do have a brutal start and sack McKenna because they think he's poor and end up getting somebody like Zisco in or somebody like that. That'd be great. Exactly. Jimmy, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Hamer won't go PSV unless they raise their valuations. Seen that 114k bloke saying they think they can get Hamer for 8 to 12 million euros. There you go, Scott. That is killing credibility with one tweet right there, isn't it? There you go. So everybody getting worried about it. That's it. Hamer's gone. Positive Jack, we're in chat. No, that's it. We might as well. Why are we even kicking off next season? Why are we doing it? Why would we bother? Hamer's gone. Minus 50 points.
That'll be one of the best things about next season. We get to see if Hamer's made himself fit. He's done no but training.
Yeah. That is the question. That is the question. Jamie Dumpling says, so if you're not using StreamYard, how does it work getting Brett seen too, if you don't mind me asking? The software that we're using uses a third-party software without getting too technical, because I'm not. So I've dropped Brett a link for this third-party software that I can copy into OBS and then use from there to get Brett on stream, if that makes sense.
It's easy for me.
Yeah. I sent Brett the link and he appeared. That was Brett's bit done. And there may be some involvement from myself. I was not to blame for Brett, nor was Brett for dropping out. I genuinely don't know what's gone wrong there.
Let's blame Sky.
Yeah, let's blame Sky. Can't hear Brett, can't see or hear him. Yeah, there you go. Brett leave and join back. That's what we did, and that's what worked. Hi, Scott. I heard they offered 15 million and Hamer wants to go there, says Andy. Who'd you hear that from, pal? We wouldn't take 15 million, by the way. City trying to nudge it through, but Juve just about clear it. City recover it on the edge of the box, right-hand side. A little bit of tippy-tappy.
Doku's gone through.
Oh, lovely through ball for Doku. Touches it inside, and it's a goal. What a lovely goal that is from Doku.
That's some skill. We could do with a few wingers like that.
Oh. Finished it like Cameron Archer. What a player.
I'm glad you said that.
Andy says, where have you... Scott says, where have you seen that, Andy? Charlie says, good evening, fellas. Charlie, who made her debut last night on Hot Topic.
Oh, she was bang on.
Girl. Go on, girl. Our first ever permanent... I'll say permanent because Susan has been known to drop in on a Hot Topic, but purely by accident because she thought she was joining the YouTube stream and she was actually joining the StreamYard stream. So Susan was the first lady to join Hot Topic, but Charlie
She's done
was
it for
there
30 seconds.
intentionally. So that was the difference. So well done, Charlie. Thought you were fantastic. Anybody that wants to see Hot Topic from yesterday, were it? Yeah, well, yesterday, weren't it? Led by Dave the Nose for the first time as well, who did a fantastic job. That will be out on Saturday night on Behind the Ramble on this channel. Really, really pleased with how everybody did on there. And it was great. I was sat back watching, trolling people in the comments, liking the video. Oh, Juventus should do better there.
Yeah,
Liking,
right.
I liked the video. I'm obviously subscribed to the channel because it's free. Love it. Love it. Well done, Charlie. I'll actually read your comment now, Charlie, rather than just shower praise on you.
You did well, to be fair.
So much nicer being this side of the camera. Oh, what are you doing? You're killing me. Go on, Brett. You'll smash it, literally. Yeah, he nearly did smash it, literally.
Nearly walked off.
Like and subscribe. Nige says they can have him for 20 million. And he says he heard it from a journalist. Do you mean you know a journalist or you've read it somewhere? Brett, go on, mate. What were you going to say, pal?
Not Alan Nixon, is it? Because you can believe it all.
Oh, it's one apiece.
Oh,
how have we missed that?
Missed it totally then.
How have we missed that? That is ridiculous.
Well, 10 minutes in.
10 minutes in, one apiece. In fact, that might do well with my match bingo card, you know.
Well, even looks at that.
Oh, 3 to go. 3 to go. Nobody's got a line yet.
No.
Do you think
I've got a friend who lives near Gus, walks his dog past him. He says he's happy.
Nice.
He's in chat.
Lovely finish. So Edison passing out from the back. It's a poor pass.
Finish.
He gets robbed. Ball's intercepted. He goes through on goal, number 8. Is that him with dodgy name?
Cool. No, I can't do it.
It's a really dodgy name.
Big K. That's what I'll call him.
What was it? No, because I was going to actively avoid saying it, and now I've said it. I want to say it out loud, but it's something like cooped
miners.
Cooped with miners or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good.
Oh, I just need one headed goal for Man City, and that'll get me a line.
You're joking?
Yeah.
About that.
Yeah, the rest of it's bare though. You don't see any other lines in it.
I don't know. Anyway, back to the comments since we're also concentrated on the game. Ian's laughing. Brett leading the show. It's not fixed, but it's an improvement. That must be when you were on screen. Man City now, right hand side.
Double.
I remember these sort of comments, by the way, Tom, not from. I'll remember that.
You can't get rid of your graphic designer. You've got to be nice to him.
I don't from him, actually. I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to do because he is very talented.
He's doing everywhere. Dry Bry, all having him.
I know. Dry Bry.
A bit work for Maury, hasn't he?
Dry Bry, MIA is Dry Bry.
I haven't seen him for ages.
Honestly, I think you have to get in touch with his secretary to even have a word with him. And if he feels like getting back to you.
Oh, we'll be back on once season starts.
Well, you'd think so. He's just been in Turkey. He must have put his second in command in charge of when Saturdays come. So,
does that mean he's coming back with a full head of hair?
We love Bry. We love Bry. Keep doing what you're doing, pal. You're doing a great job. Seeing double, says Matthew. You got a name, Andy? I haven't seen the £15 million bid, says Scott. Magic trick. Jimmy's disappeared and we've got 2 Bretts. How good was that, by the way? You don't get that on stream very much.
Told you you've lost about 500 subscribers.
It's all right. We'll get them back, I'm sure. I see the cup as an extra game for Sayers to get the team gelled in his new system. I do too, Nige, but it was always going to come this cup game. So it'd have been nice to have a little bit of an easier option to be able to experiment a touch with a new side. That was my thought process behind it. Tommy Cooper operating the equipment. Yep, absolutely. Now I can't hear. See, Jimmy, 2 Bretts, leave it there. Well, I get it, but I've got feelings.
Hey,
I've got feelings.
If it were Man Mountain, there'd lock screen on you.
Well, I know. That's it. I'd have just laid. That'd have been it. I could have gone off. Could have gone home.
Did they go through roof and subscribers?
Andy reckons 25 mil for for Hamer. We're not selling Gus Hamer. We
I
are
won't
not.
sell him at all.
I am convinced we're not selling Gus Hamer. I think it'd be.
From what he says as well, he's quite happy here, so I can't. If he don't need to force his way out, we're not going to force it.
That's a bit of a naughty challenge. Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. Peak says, must admit, didn't think I could accept any other than Wilder. Blades Ramble has helped me move on and look at it from different angles. Thank you, pal. I'm giddy and looking forward to a new season and supporting Ruben. Me too.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, pal. It's just pulling all different perspectives together. You still make your own mind up, but sometimes you can get a bit of tunnel vision, can't you? And get a little bit. I do it as well. I do it. And I sometimes come on stream and ask people to actively help me out with giving me a different way of thinking. And it tends to work. So
Yeah, you just say how long it took Gaz to convince me that he weren't that VAR call was right.
I know, yeah.
Every day in chat, just be biased, Gaz. Just be biased.
Gaz, he lives and dies by his integrity. I love
Oh,
it.
he's so honest.
I know he is. Evening, Jimmy. Techno Buggies, all is well now. Yes, mate. Thank you. Just glad League Cup team is away and a new ground for me. Only downside is it's the same league. Yep. I'll expect you there, my roving reporter. Any truth about us and Birmingham talking to Tommy Doyle? Truth about Birmingham talking to him, I'm sure. I'm not convinced we are, if I'm honest.
I don't see where we'd fit him in. Unless somebody leaves out of our midfield, where's he going to play?
Well, I can see someone leaving from midfield, but I'm not
Even
convinced.
if we leave one, though, I still couldn't see a position. We've got a full midfield now.
So
you could get rid of City Peck.
If City Peck leaves, you've still got
Sousa
Armour
and
Arblaster,
Aware.
who we're going to start.
Arblaster.
It's our strongest position in it, centre midfield, I would say. So I would love Tommy Doyle back, but I don't think he's a priority.
Yeah. Oh, as a player, yeah.
Doku. Oh!
Deflection.
Weston McKennie.
Oh, he's gone up in world.
We've got a blade on the Welsh Women's Euro team, Esther Morgan. Oh, that's good. That's good. Good to know, mate. I'm not hugely into it, I must say, but obviously want any blade to do well. Spanish blade says I would love something. Collins is a fastish, tall, strong right back who can play centre back, so could be like the German Jimmy Dunn. All right, okay. Never heard of him, to be honest, pal. Poor corner from City. That really, really bad. Cleared, didn't beat the first man. Lee says, I don't know how, Jim, but I'm watching the same DAZN stream as you, and you must be 30 seconds behind. Got to be slower the further north it goes. I'll tell you what it is, Lee. It is the delay on the stream, I think. I think the YouTube stream is something like at least 6 or 7 seconds behind. I have to wait after pressing a few buttons. So, yeah, I don't know about the rest, but I'm going through my Skybox. Maybe that's another thing that slows it down a little bit as well. Good luck to Brett, says Lee.
Cheers,
Paul
mate.
says, how's your father? And when's he making a return? Andy the Oracle. In about 2 weeks, I think. We've got a monthly show with him that I am nailing him down to every month. I've given him a date, and he has cleared.
The important thing is, though, Jimmy, have you got him a song?
You'll have to wait and see, mate. You'll have to wait and see. I may have. I may well have. Gold Doku, that's where we are in the comments. Has Pep made jerky dull yet? Not yet, pal. Lee says, as I said on the fixture stream earlier, PSV's highest spend on one player is 15 million euros, which is 12.8 million quid. To get Gus, they're going to have to smash that, 25 million euros or 21.3. I can't see them doing it. I can't either, Lee. I can't either. And welcome back, the voice of reason. David says we have to give Ruben time. Oh, look at that with the little accent in the Ruben. Nice, David. Wish I knew how to do that. New style, maybe new players, etc. Nobody in their right mind will be expecting miracles, so I'm giving him 10 minutes. Subscribe, please. Thank you, mate. I'll ask Gus next time I'm in Fat Sam's if he's off. Yeah, you'll have to watch. Hot Topic to understand that comment. That'll be out on Saturday night. Jamie,
I've heard he's on tapas now. Anyway,
just absolutely outing our best player and actively trying to lower his value.
Good lad.
Coop Miners. It's something like Coop Miners, isn't it? It's not great. Big T says, I've got the okay for Swansea away off Little G. Now just to talk to my lad to move in his 18th birthday party so I can make Charlton.
Go on,
Big
Big
D.
T.
Nice one, pal. David says, I thought my vision had gone again for a minute when I saw 2 Bretts. No, mate, all good. All good. I'm back. Sorry to
Nobody wants to.
Don't do nothing for me, says Maury. Not sure about Rayner's dodgy tash. I haven't seen it yet. Oh, here come Juve down left-hand side. Crossed into the box. It's deflected. And
Quite
it's
an end-to-end game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's end-to-end stuff. I'm going to have to actually watch it in a minute. Brett looks like a younger me. There you go.
I'll take that as a compliment, Nick.
Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right. Big Tony, who made a huge impression with his first ramble on the road at Wembley. Well done to you, pal. Juve
Although
corner,
I think you'll
20
probably
minutes
be
in.
older.
You what, mate?
I'll probably be older.
You're baby face, Brett. That's what it is.
That's in here, yeah. 43. I'm all right. This is what happens when you watch Sheffield United. No
I know,
wrinkle in
mate.
sight.
That's true. That's true. I
When
can't,
we hit
believe
them,
I can't believe I'm 20 years younger than you.
I know. You hide it well.
I know, mate. I do. I do. I like to dye it grey at sides so people think I'm a lot wiser than I am.
It's like the wingtips.
Yeah.
It's the Sopranos fan.
Oh, dearie me. He's well offside. He is well offside.
That annoys me sometimes. You know, when they do it offsides, I have to wait about 5 minutes.
Why are they calling it straight away? Does my head. Sonny Glasby of GLASBY's Pallets says, evening, gents. What do you think to the link to Ali from Luton? I don't know anything about him, so I figured I'd ask you. Hope you're both well and glad to see Brett on the channel. Up behind the ramble. Thank you, mate. Any thoughts about Ali from Luton, mate?
No, not really. I couldn't tell you. Honestly, I wouldn't know enough about him, to be honest. I've seen bits, but
I'm not blown away, if I'm honest. No. He had a bit of a purple patch, and when I say a bit, I mean a bit like a 5-game spell where he did okay last season in the champ. Yeah. He's not a difference maker for us. Not a difference maker at all. Not in my opinion. So I'm not sure how serious the links are, Sonny, to be honest, pal. I will do a little bit of research into it, but I think people sometimes see a couple of games where he does do well, which shows he's got the talent and ability, but anybody can sort of play 100 mile an hour for a few games and look better than they probably are over the course of the season. So
different as well, isn't it? Different people play better in different teams. So
that's right.
Never really.
That's right, mate. Matthew says it's exciting what Sellers is said about wingers are very important to us. He wants pace, front-footed, good dribbler, good at 1v1. So it'll be interesting to see who he brings in. Been crying out for wingers like that. We've not played with wingers like that. Raksaki were the closest we've got. Never went out round the outside.
Oh yeah, that's one thing though, isn't it? Same thing every time.
Absolutely, of course he was. So predictable. Predictable. He did take men with him because he was good at carrying the ball and opened up space for others, and there were definite benefits he brought to the team, but he was so frustrating at times.
He would say if he were a complete player, he wouldn't be playing for us.
That's true. That's very true. Hamer better at corners than these, says Mitch. Yeah, agreed. Aaron says, you okay, boys? What do you think of that? Otelli, who has been linked. He is rapid. Who is Otelli? Never heard of him, Aaron. Where is the link from? This is what. So we must have seen, and this is no slight on Aaron. It may be a genuine link that's on somebody I've not heard of, but there are so many players linked, so many that we can't keep up for one, and we've no idea because we've no track record to sort of refer to. Let me just see this. Oh yeah, it's free kick smacks Juventus lad in face. Side head really, and he's down holding his head. Bless him. So I'm not. I'm not sure on the. I'm not against bringing in a player that I've never heard of. Put it that way. So I will always be open-minded with it. But again, I don't know how much substance are in these sort of names that were being mentioned because there's no track record. We don't know what the owners.
Though, if we're buying youngsters, I don't think we'll have heard a lot on them.
Yeah,
I think in pre-season, I think if we've heard one or two, that'll be about as maximum because we'll want. If they want young players, they'll want undiscovered players. They're not going to pick people that have already got a value, are they?
Established,
No point
yeah.
doing it.
Yeah, that's true.
You
But-
want a sprinkling of talent to go around.
So I know we've been linked with a lot of foreign players, and obviously a lot of Wilder's targets have been sort of cast to one side, and we've been looking at whoever Sayers wants, which is the right thing to do if he's going to be the man to take us
You're
forward.
getting that Sayers name down, aren't you?
I'm trying, mate. I'm trying. It's when I read it. It's when I read it, because obviously it reads Sellers, and I'm
Yeah.
struggle, but because my brain don't compute quick enough. But we've moved on from a lot of Wilder targets, but the players that we brought in January, most of them were Wilder targets. Oh, City, edge at box, trying to shoot, well defended by Juve. Most of them were Wilder players, but Tom Cannon wasn't. Tom Cannon was recommended to Wilder, and he accepted him because he were a 10-goal striker, good at the level, proven at the level.
Oh, what is that?
Own goal.
No,
Oh,
nobody
my
near him.
goodness.
That's the Jackie Robinson one.
Kalulu. That was kapoo-poo. That was absolutely useless. What is that about?
There were nobody near him.
Oh my God. There were a ball that just gets put across the 6-yard box from the right-hand side. No real danger. To be fair to Kalulu, he doesn't know he's not in danger. But it was such a daft and unnecessary touch. He just passes it past his own keeper, who has to try and dive across to save it and don't get it.
It's a weird one, that.
It's so strange. Is that Bernardo Silva that crossed it? No, it weren't.
Oh, no.
Lovely finish from Kalulu. Past his own goalkeeper. Oh, dear. Wah, wah, wow. Louis says, evening, boys. Two titans of sports broadcasting. Clearly has just joined us and didn't see the awkward 10-minute start. But
Might be about when I run twice.
yeah, so good you saw him twice. So he says, bring one back, Alfie, Hamza, or Raksaki. Up the ramble, like and subscribe. What's your answer? I'll give you the floor first.
Oh, Alfie.
Why?
Hamza played well, but I wouldn't play him at right back. And if we keep Sousa, we don't need him.
I agree with you. I would say Alfie, if it's a permanent, because I think there's a lot of long-term potential for Alfie. I don't think any of them. Raksaki might get a bit of game time, but I don't think any of them force their way into Sellers' side. I mean, Alfie and Hamza at the moment would start at right back, but once Sayers has finished building his side, I would anticipate that right back is a position we are heavily looking at strengthening. And I still think Alfie will be a good addition on a permanent, because I think there's a lot of upside longer term. I particularly think if we move to a 3 at the back, he'd be great on the right side of a 3. Yeah. But I don't think any of the 3 will come back, if I'm completely honest. Just watched a few highlights of that alley from Luton. There you go. That's the problem, Kyle. That's the problem in that first sentence. Watch it back again. Look, read it back. Impressed, and a lot of good feedback from them. How much would he be, though? If you're offering, then he'll be high. If somebody who's watched him properly, then not as high. And that's no slight, but we all get suckered in by highlight packages, Kyle. That's the problem. That's the issue, because anybody, Ivo Gerbic can look like a world-beating goalkeeper in a highlights package, because all you do is include his best saves, even though there's about 3 of them over his entire career. So you've got to be so careful watching that sort of stuff. It's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult to get a true gauge of a player, really. You can't do it from YouTube highlights. Benny Traore is the one that I will point to with that, because he looked incredible in the Swedish league, finishing, pace. Also, I remember getting really excited about him because I'd fallen into the same trap and watched some YouTube clips. And he came and he was nowhere near ready for the level. He was like a 14-year-old boy. And he's doing all right now, because the potential was clearly there. But at the time, it wasn't a great signing for us. Man City again into the box. Juve, they're packing out the defense, but they're not defending well. It's
very concentrated.
Yeah, it's just bodies in there, isn't it? And try and bunch it as best you can.
No shape.
Agreed. They're just.
Which, to be fair, I think Juve are known for being quite structurally good. But
historically, yeah.
Then again, I suppose you're not playing Man City every day. You know what I mean?
It was Huzifar Khan on the Star who's reported Otele. That's one I referred to in my 10-minute transfers this morning, because I think some of these articles at the minute, and I don't just mean the Star obviously, but they're quite speculative.
Oh, someone's took a line already.
I hope it's me. I don't think it will be.
JG79.
It's definitely not me.
Well, it's
Oh,
you now.
man. I'll tell you what, they could do me a favour, couldn't they? I'm working with them.
Well, they let you win it first game just to
They
get.
didn't let me win anything. They didn't let
subs.
me- Right, lads, where does your head and your heart say we finish next season? Oh, very early, Ton. Very early. Go on, Brett. After you, mate.
I couldn't tell you.
Oh,
Probably might do playoffs.
I think
thinking
we're strong challengers for automatics. Good save.
Yeah.
Good save.
I'd like to think that, like I say, if we'd have had Wilder, we would have been. But I think, like I say, it's just too much unknown now, isn't it, really? So, I think, like I say, as good a manager as he is, it's still hard to hit ground running, shall I say. That's going to be the main thing. If we start well, I think we'll do all right.
It's a little bit of a blind assessment at minute, isn't it? Because not only do we not know what we're going to look like, we don't know what all other teams are going to look like as well. So
most Sheffield United fans basing it off that one match where they beat us 3.
Yeah, but we can better answer this question at transfer window, can't we? I think what I would say though is, head says top 4, heart says top 2. I think we can push into top 2 this season.
I think if we keep Gus, no matter what we play, we've still got a good chance of playoffs minimum with Gus.
But not only Gus, we've got Michael Cooper, who I again would say is the best goalkeeper in the division. Harrison Burrows is another year on. Vinny Souza, if he can stay fit, is incredible. Tyrese Campbell had a great season last year. I think Tom Cannon comes good a little bit better. I'm not saying he's going to be a world beater, but I think he will be more settled in this side.
I think as well, Tom Cannon
play to his strengths.
I don't think people realise how young he is, Tom Cannon. Like, because he looks like he's been buying beer since 10. He's not. You know what I mean? He does look about 10 years older than he is, but
yeah, he does.
I think he'll come good. I think he'll start playing well. Like I say, if you can score goals for Stoke, if you play to his strengths, I think you'll be fine.
But we've got Ollie Arblaster back, Callum O'Hare inside, Sidney Peck to come in again. I think
that's my only worry as well. I hope Ollie comes back proper fit. Do you know, like,
we might have to be patient, I think.
Yeah. I always think anytime somebody's out with a long-term injury, it always sends me back to Dean Whitehouse, my favourite player when I was growing up. And as soon as he broke his leg and he was out for a season, he was never the same player. He came back and he were,
What a player he was.
When I started watching, when we had Bash.
Oh, no.
Not that
old. Mitch says, you're watching PSG v Inter Miami on Sunday. I am doing no games over the weekend. It is my wedding anniversary. I have been working a lot, and I have promised Mrs. Ramble that I won't be down in tools completely. And if anything happens, then you may see my little face. If I can get it up on screen, that is, because we've obviously had a few troubles tonight. But yeah, I'm never fully signed off. But I am going to try and give a bit of time to Mrs. Ramble this weekend. We're going away for the weekend. We are taking the girls, so could be chaos. Lewis says the plan is possibly to lock down as much of the current squad as possible and almost solely sign development players. Do either of you think we'll sign more than 1 or 2 first-team ready players up the Ramble? Go on, mate, after you.
I think that, yeah. I think he's right when he says, I think main priority will be keeping what we've got.
I agree with that.
Sprinkle youth in, but like I said on topic, you need to be getting people that can bring up, like I said other day, when we had Matt Kilgallen, he was one of the best young defenders we've ever had. But when he didn't play with Morgan, he weren't the same player. You just get bullied off ball. You need people there that can, and I think that's probably going to be Gus's job. I think Gus or Susie, somebody to step up.
Yeah. Well, we saw that with Suter last season, didn't he? He raised the game of both Anel and Robinson, to be fair, when he played alongside them both. And Alfie Gilchrist, it could be said as well. And when he came out of the side, they weren't quite the same player. None of them were the same players. So
you're trying to say that Robinson didn't have the same effect when he was drafted in?
I'm saying nothing about Jack Robinson. Saying
Oh,
absolutely
you're getting
zero.
so political now.
No, everybody knows what I think.
politician.
I don't want to be like a broken record about it. There is my opinion will not change.
And to be honest with Robinson, I don't think he is a bad player. I think he's a good cover. It's not his fault he was thrust into. I wouldn't like say you won't want him starting every game, but
Which he almost did last season as soon as.
yeah. Well, I say he got forced into it, didn't I? I think that when he came in, and I just don't think he'd have played as much if it hadn't been for Suter and Arblaster. Because I think Wilder played him because he was captain. If Arblaster were fit and he were captain, I don't think he'd have played as much. I think Holden would have played more.
That's an interesting conversation for me. Is who gets the armband? Does Robinson keep the armband? I'm not convinced.
No.
But it's a big call for manager that I need to change your captain. It's got to be Ollie Arblaster for me. But
Yeah,
anyway,
you could make an argument he were basically captain before. But...
Yeah, agreed. Hamza all day long for me, says Matt. Great finish. So confident in his touch. Just placed it, not trying to blast it. Very professional, says Dave. Alfie every day. Say again.
Well, that defender is on about.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
nice touch,
beautifully cushioned touch past the goalkeeper. I like Alfie as well, Lee, but just like aggression. Maybe I need to think about footballers as well. I hope Alfie didn't hear that. Fair news. Benny Traore, for example. Oh, yeah, there you go. Nice. Good evening, beautiful men, says Fairfield. Oh, good evening. Is there anyone close to signing at all that you know of? No, not that we know of. Not that's in the ether at the minute, shall we say.
I told you they're looking at Bulgarian Development League now. So they're going down.
Yeah. We're just scouting now this Man City Juve game, see if there's anybody we can find from our foreign approach. Ain't that Ali a rival to Team? Yes, possibly. Ivo Gerbic looked like prime Buffon, and Dida in reality it was worse than Lee Baxter, says Maury. Hamza for right back and backup as Vinny was injured a lot last season, says Paul. Nothing wrong with the utility player. No, there isn't. In terms of what you were saying with the priority, you and Lewis saying the priority was to retain the core of the squad. I completely agree. I think that should be the priority. And I was sort of earlier in the closed season, I was saying that even if we signed some frees, didn't really spend anything on a permanent basis, and then just brought in 5 strong loans, then that might see us all right this season. 5 strong loans, if you use them right, can all affect the first team. So, and then you get
I think you're right in that. With the model they want to build, and they'll want all the young players that they can get to be theirs, because that's the sellable assets, aren't they?
Absolutely.
So if you do, like I say, you're going to start using loan market, you're going to have to use them for people that are going to make it into your first 11.
Got to be established pros. Got to be established pros that are going to improve your 11. So I don't mind.
Over 25s that aren't getting in squads where they are Premier League teams or whatever.
That's absolutely right. Yeah, I completely agree. Gerbic was more like prime buffoon, says Paul. Who's a telly, says Maury, and I'm going to use my powers of wisdom now. I'm just going to have a little think to see if I can remember this telly. Nothing to do with something that Lee Edridge has sent me. A Nigerian winger, I think a telly is off the top of my head.
Nigerian, he's ours.
On exactly on loan at FC Basel, Basel, on loan from Al Wada. From what I remember, just off the top of my head that I'm thinking about here. 9 goals in 18 games from the left wing in the Swiss Super League. That makes me shudder, to be honest. This is obviously from Lee Edridge, who is good with his research, particularly once we know we've got a sniff of a name. He can then go and get us further details and knows a little bit about. Here comes Doku. Good save. Oh, no, it was Savinho. Nice. Look like the Dockster, but he's cut inside, shot with his left foot, but straight at keeper. Also, somebody mentioned earlier was Namdi Collins. Lee says Namdi Collins will never come to us. Plays for Frankfurt, who finished 3rd in the Bundesliga, rated at 10 million euros and played 24 matches last season. Good player, but probably better than where we are currently. There you go. Top man. He sent me some stats as well to back up his point, but I trust him, and I'm not in a position to look at stats right now.
Like when I was saying on chat about, I think we're going to try and go for a Dortmund model. And I was like, well, but we're not that good. I'm like, well, I don't think we'll do it to the same kind.
Yeah, there's levels to the game, isn't there? There's levels to the game.
Right. We're both in for a player, young player. It's us and Dortmund. So I don't know who he's going to pick.
Tricky one.
Yeah. But I think that is the way that they want to do it. If you're going to pick a model for a business, Dortmund's getting young players sellable. 1 or 2 seasons, and then they sell them on and get another one.
Yeah, absolutely.
But,
I
they're
don't
in
know
that position now where they can pick who they want, really.
Is Maury singing to us? Automatic. No way to control it. Just go to the automatic. I'm not singing Grease Lightning with you, though, pal. No, I'm sorry about that. Helen says, Otelli plays for FC Basel, Jimmy. Apparently, they are offering him to a few clubs. Fulham, one of them, I believe. I've seen this on Fulham Fan News tonight. Don't know how credible they are. Thank you for that further information there, Helen. What I would say is, if he's been offered to Fulham and they would consider him somebody to put into their squad, it goes back to the levels conversation that Brett's just had, doesn't it? So, maybe, but we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. Interesting. Scott says, I've got to take a bit of the blame on a few of the transfer links. I retweeted that at Tele. I found a few of the PSV Hamer links, and I found another random Nigerian link as well that has circulated. Yeah, Scott, you're a nightmare for it. Look, there's nothing. Hang on, Man City here. Oh, good save. Good save. And the defense, the Juve defense is so hesitant. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
And here they come again. Man City have recovered it high up the field. Into the box. Savinho and Juve just nip in and get it clear. This is.
They don't look like they want to put a foot in anyway, do they? Juve?
No. Looks like they're scared.
Yeah.
Right. Where were we? Yeah, so Scott, what I was saying, here comes City again into the box, and it's going to go out for a corner. Corner to City. Scott, you do retweet a lot of things. You do sort of, but mate, people think about things in different ways, and if you get excited by links to players and want to know a little bit more about it, that's absolutely fine. There's no wrong with it. No wrong with it at all. Let your imagination run wild. Let you enjoy it. But I just feel
like your comments with allegedly, and then you're covered.
Yeah, exactly. But I then feel I've got a duty to say, everybody just ignore what Scott's tweeting about because it's 90% of it's absolute rubbish. But if you're enjoying yourself, pal, you do you. And also, you do pull in a lot of good information for us. I appreciate what you send me and stuff like that as well. Like I say, 90% of it is probably guff. But
to be fair, nobody knows anything. We all had Wilder signings, didn't we? So
that's true. We all had a bank, didn't we, of players that we could go back to. I was going to be talking about Lewis O'Brien in my 10-minute transfers and Joe Worrell, all these players that we thought we were going to be getting back. But
I already had Darling and Dunn.
Yeah, I know.
I'm ready for a name on back at shirt.
I know. Ricky Holmes were lined up for next week on 10-minute transfers, and I've had to knock it on head. Sheila says, evening, Jimmy and Brett. We need the defence sorted. Absolutely right, we do. Not heard anything from defenders since Wilder left. No, it's been very quiet, and that's a good thing as well, that it's not getting out as to who we're in for, or it's certainly unknown. People don't know our movements or what we're going to be doing.
Well, that's another thing as well. We don't even know what kind of defenders we're going to need.
Absolutely.
Do we need any rocks?
And while that's frustrating for the fan base, it's really good for the club because you can go and negotiate. Say we're in for Ben Cabango, for example, from Swansea, just a random decent defender at championship level. We might really want him. We could just say to Swansea, we're willing to go up to 2 million for him. Might really be willing to go up to 3.5. But if they don't think we're as interested as we are, they don't know how much we're going to go. We might end up moving on to another target because they don't know what our prerequisite of a centre half that we're going for is. So Jamie Dumpling says, since Mountain and the Nose have been doing solo streams, could we see more watch-alongs for home games and even away games if they're local and you could get to? Could we see more watch-along? We will certainly be looking at doing more watch-along. Yeah, I think part of the reason for... I know part of the reason that Paul is comfortable. Paul's done a watch-along solo before. I'm sure there'll be more of them. It's more difficult for Paul to get to games, particularly midweek, because he lives in Peterborough. So it's not always easy to get up on a school night and stuff like that. So to get to games. So midweek home games that I will be attending, absolutely, if they're on the telly, Paul will more than likely, if he's free, jump on. Dave the Nose were on Hot Topic last night, breezed through using StreamYard on his own for the first time. No danger at all. Jordan Motson might be the next one to sort of step up and sort of, he might not like me talking about this on stream, but I'm sure he could quite easily hold a stream with someone else to do a watch along if he can't attend a game, even though George goes to a lot of games himself. So, yeah, surely, Jamie, at some stage, we will try to get more watch alongs out. They do really good numbers. I think it's just casual conversations with people, and people tend to enjoy them. It's just relaxed, isn't it? So, yeah, there's an
excuse for 2 hours of football.
Yeah, that's right. But not just Sheffield United games, obviously, which are the core of what we do, because they'll be on Blades Ramble. But on this channel, we'll be continuing with Rivals watch-alongs. And like I said, we've got 3 lined up for opening weekend at season anyway. So there's loads going off. And that's why I've been very, very busy recently, trying to get everything sort of sorted out. And yes, Jamie, you can be a part of it. Of course you can. You're quite a big part of it.
His microphone there.
I know. He's got. Yeah, sorry, I meant to Jamie Dumpling here for Ramblers on the Road. Yeah. Can I get your word on that, please? It's unbelievable. Daryl says, "Hey, Jim Bob, hope you and the family are well." We're very well, thank you, pal. Very nice of you to ask. Thank you. What channel is the game on, and who scored, Jim? Doku scored the first. Can't remember who the Juve lad was.
Coop Miner.
Say again.
Coop Miner.
Oh, Coop Miner.
That's not how you pronounce it.
Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. Who has a name like that? So it was, and then it's on his own, pal, and it was Kalulu own goal that put City in front, and it was a shocker of an own goal, to be fair. Susan says, "So I promise that I will join Hot Topic next time, Jimmy. I'm enjoying the watch. Brilliant, Susan. Great to have you join us. I thought you teased me last time when you popped in on Hot Topic, and I thought you were joining us. I think that was before your time, Brett. Before you were with us, it was when
one of the first ones I watched. I think that.
It might have been. It might
have been one of the first ones.
Yeah, so it'd be great to have you involved, Susan. You know that. Here come Man City again. Into the box.
Like I said, Charlie did really well with it, and she was nervous.
She was great.
We managed to pressurise her into it. She's thankful.
Everybody were great. I know some lads get nervous as well. It's not just I love the fact that we're going to have more female representation. That's something we've been keen on for a long, long time. My girls, I want to know them to feel that they can be a part of it as well. But yeah, it's not an easy thing to put your face on screen for the first time. And
I was talking to my mate the other day, and he's like, I've not seen him for years, and he sent me a message saying, "No, I've seen you on Blades Ramble. You're doing all right. You look really relaxed and stuff." Like, you hadn't seen the first one. I couldn't get my words out. I stood there.
I think
Jimmy started off with his 3,000 people. Don't get nervous.
No, but to be honest, I do think for people that have got an itch that they want to scratch in terms of getting on and talking about what we love, which is Sheffield United, I do think that we've found a bit of a formula, haven't we? With Platinum Ramblers being able to come on Hot Topic and do it in a more protected environment, and then it will get released on Behind the Ramble, but it won't go to as big an audience usually as it does on Blades Ramble. And then some people like Lewis prefer to just go for it and chuck themselves in at 90 after 90. You've had a bit of a taste of it, and now you're keen to come on and do a watch along and sort of test yourself here. And you might have been nervous coming on, but you can't tell if you were or weren't. So
I think like I forced myself to do it because I knew I'd be nervous. But like when you do Hot Topic, I think the good thing about it when you do it at Wednesday, when you do it on a Wednesday, and then it's not out till Saturday, you get a group chat that react to it first. I mean, and everybody's really supportive, and
yeah,
you always get the odd thumbs up and stuff.
So
by the time it was at general release, it's done, isn't it?
You're quite calm about it, aren't you? Yeah. Oh, you should be. Yeah. Mark Meldrew's worst one for it. What an absolute diva that man is now. He's
big time now.
Struggled to get him on for ages, and then he finally sort of succumbs to it. And now, wow, he's got a nickname. He's badgering me for a song, all sorts of bloody stuff. It's between him and Jamie Dumpling. I don't know who's biggest diva. So we'll.
They've earned it though.
Because
they're earning the stripes.
Always great contributors. Everybody is, to be fair. Apart from Dave the Nose.
Need to get James on. James Allen.
The Shakes.
Yeah.
The Shakes himself. New Shakes, new Matilda Shakes merchandise out. I'll give him a plug since they do a lot for the channel with it, lending us their license, or allowing us to use their license for their incredible music. Absolutely levels up it's half time. It levels up our channel. So I will always back that boy and support him and the band, Blades as well. But yeah, he's a top lad. He's a top lad, and as I said, new Matilda Shakes merchandise out right now, and I'll have to get him on.
Me a shirt.
If he wants to plug it properly, he'll have to come on, won't he? And
he needs to come on. He's on the chat all the time.
He can come on, do a turn, and then I'll advertise it properly for him.
It's Slinky's scheduled clipping for live.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Danny says, evening, gents. Just catching up on today's news. Why am I seeing Trafford agreeing full terms with Newcastle? Talks advancing, and do we think Burnley will be looking to get big Mike Cooper? No, they won't. Stay away. No, they won't. They're off for a big German dude, which they've been linked with for a week or two. Nigerian, he's a bit overqualified, says Paul. Yeah, bit too well known, I think. That country's a little bit too established.
Hey, if we get another underlove, we'll be all right.
Yeah, we would. Tom says, decided to have a quick glance at the Bristol City Forum, see what they think about playing us again. Very entertaining read. They are not happy. Nice, Tom. Lewis says, a player I haven't seen mentioned anywhere is Ben Doak. He has been mentioned, actually. Got mentioned in the chat this morning, I think, in the fixtures thing. But yes for me. Really like the look of him when he was at Borough. We need wingers. Reminder to all to hit subscribe and hit the like button. Thank you, pal. Up the ramble. Like and subscribe. It's completely free. Doesn't cost you anything. It's just that button underneath where you're watching us now. Ben Doak, yes for me. Looked a really exciting prospect. The only thing is, got a really bad injury, and we've yet to see what he's like post-injury. And you mentioned it yourself in terms of Ollie Arblaster and things like that. That you sometimes have to be a little bit cautious, don't you, in terms of how they're going to come back from that serious injury.
I think that's the thing as well. When they've had so long off, it's more to do with if they come back and they're able to read game like they were, especially midfielders. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you say you've got to be match fit, haven't you? Like a year off from matchness, it's harder.
It's a lot in it. It's a lot. The one that I think I referred to it on stream the other day, and we're talking about levels, but Michael Owen went never the same after his injury, and players like Darren Anderton that me and you will remember, and not a lot of people will. But
I used to really like Darren Anderton, just a player not for the team, but like he used to have an injury every other game, and then come back, play about 5 really good games, injured again.
I know. It was such a shame. Totally forgot Frankfurt finished third. Says the Spanish played. Sonny Orlando says David. I found the Bulgarian right back we're looking at allegedly. Well, there you go. Allegedly, Scott. That you're taking Brett's advice, and so you should, mate. Well done. Learning already. Kev says, "Hi, Jimmy. Get yourself on FOTMob. Leon having a clear out after getting relegated. Surely there must be a player we can afford. I like Maitland-Niles. I do, and it's something me and Man Mountain were talking about this morning. We're having a catch up, and he mentioned him to me because Sayers worked with him at Southampton, and I hadn't put that link together. So I as soon as I heard Maitland-Niles being mentioned, I thought he might go to Southampton because I knew he'd already played there. But Man Mountain got me excited because he said yes, and who was his manager at Southampton? It was Ruben Sayers, who he spoke really highly about, and he sent me an article actually about Maitland-Niles speaking very highly of Ruben Sayers. So that would be a decent signing for me. Bulgaria right back turned down and moved to Russia. He's 17. That's all our under 23 signings gone now. We can't sign anyone under 23 from abroad now, as I understand it, Jimmy, says Max. Thank you, pal. Don't know.
Is there a limit on it?
Thanks, Max. You what, mate?
Is there a limit on it? I didn't think there were.
I didn't think there was, but there is.
There
are
some to get around it.
I need
They've got like 50 local players.
Lee Edridge is watching. I'm sure he can explain it to me in layman's terms, and I'll look intelligent when he sends me the information through. So we'll get you updated somehow.
You don't look down at your hand.
Yeah, no, yeah. Just actually, while I'm thinking about that, you mentioned a while. It's like that. You might not have seen it. Did you watch The Office, the original Office?
Yeah.
So when David Brent's doing the Dostoevsky and all that sort of stuff, where he's looking at like all facts on stuff and looks it up. You were saying that earlier about Dostoevsky. Well, I have to say that And then he comes back with another point, and it's oh god, yeah. Anyway, funny. Someone on the Bristol City forum says Paul is happy to play us first, as Rob Dickey is still suspended for it, so he can't be sent off against us till the away game. Oh, Rob Dickey still being suspended is a bonus for Sheffield United.
Yeah, that's a positive, isn't it? That's a positive, Fab.
It is a positive. No new training ground either will be delayed because we didn't go up. Have we got any money? Where have you seen that, Max? Is that just something you heard George Motson say on Behind the Ramble?
That's the only way I've heard it.
Polendikov won't move to Rostov. The player initially agreed to join Rostov, but then changed his mind and will now most likely go to Sheffield United. Polendikov, is that what it is, Peak? Okay, interesting. Just been posted in the Platinum chat. Nice, thank you. When will the training ground be done, says Aaron. I'll have to ask this man. He's not coming in, but I'm just going to play it anyway. Jordan Motson, the man on the mic. I'll have to ask that man because he seems to know. He seems to know what the crack is. What's the crack, Jordan Motson? I need to sort this timer out, actually. I need it for the second half, but we'll sort that in a sec. See, Jimmy, it's not 90% nonsense. You got to give me 85. Fair. Well, you've got to prove the point first, Scott, rather than just hit me with more rumours. I was nervous about it also, said Maury. Seems to me we've gone rubbish or but no swearing, Max, last season, and now we've got no dough. A bigger diva than me, says Maury. Yeah, absolutely right. He is. Don't you worry, Maury. You were classmate on stream. It's all green M&M's Meldrew that's the problem. Max trying to keep it PG. Thank you, Scotty. Diva harsh. Also, what's a diva? Unbelievable, Jamie. Amen. Unbelievable. Seems to me we've gone poo or bust. There we go. That's better, Max. That's better. Diva, I'd say divvy. I'm joking, Jamie. You do brilliant. Great watch along. Ray with the bang. Love that.
Go on, Ray.
Oh, hang on. My TV's gone off. Wagwan. Come on. Old DAZN's decided to guck a put on me. We're all right. We're all right. We'll get back on.
Oh,
Scream.
Only watching highlights anyway, I think.
Yeah, we're not on yet. Scream went to sleep on me when I went looking. Reading too many comments. Pinch Podcast said we can sign 423 players due to immigration. Caceres, Nachukwu, Yukaki, and now this Bulgarian.
Is that per season, though? Because obviously two of them were last season. Or is it just currently in squad?
There were. Again, who's Polendikov, says Maury. I'm sure we'll soon find out. Jamie, it's a diva. It's a stadium in Chester. Nice, mate. Nice. What was I going to do? I was going to do something, wasn't I? Lewis says, link back to last night, gents. McBurney or Brewster? Brett, do you want to answer that loaded weapon of a question?
It's easy. Well, you know the gatekeeper's going to start kicking off if you don't pick Brewster. Would you keep happy?
That's true. That's true. We always need to keep the gatekeeper happy. So, yeah, it's Ray and Brewster all day long.
Bring him on, Brewster.
Not age-related, says Riff. There can be any age. If you apply for a visa, it's rejected, and then appeal it, it's also rejected. You can then give them one of the 4 ESC spots. It's rejected, and then the appeal is also. So is it only if the appeal's rejected that they take one of the spots? Is that right? ESC, or elite significant contribution, is a system allowing Premier League and EFL clubs to sign players who might not initially qualify for a work permit under standard governing body endorsement. Okay.
I only know that from like Championship Manager.
Yeah.
You have to play so many games for it to be a work permit, or have played so many.
Yeah.
If they're unproven.
Yes, possibly. I like that to play 75% of the games, and this is obviously a bit of a workaround to that, isn't it? But we still don't, or I still don't know and I know Riff's trying to explain it there, but I'm also trying to update the timer at the same time, which kind of throws me completely.
Does this new scoreboard go above 6 then?
Yeah, it does. It goes to whatever you want. This is only a temporary scoreboard, to be fair, because it's the system that we're using with the widgets and stuff doesn't have the World Club Cup games because they were absolutely extortionate by all accounts. So when we get onto the championship, we will be back again with the full updates and stuff like that. So all it won't be this scoreboard that you see because I've just created this scoreboard. But
is this all this software a subscription then, or is it all bought?
yeah,
Is it
so
like-
it's a subscription service, so it's a monthly payment. But and usually they pull through all the stats and everything like that. So hopefully I wouldn't have to do too much about it. But, you know, time will...
Meant to make your life easier.
Yeah, supposed to. Still can't work out how to edit this time alike.
I like all the options I can see at the bottom here, and the one you're struggling with, it's time.
I know, mate. I know. I did it the other day as well. Oh.
You want to start? You just have to start it off with like American. Just a second half.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be in it. It's gonna have to be it if we don't get it sorted.
I had to laugh. I made a question up to ask people, but when I looked into it, I couldn't even answer my own question.
How does that work?
Because I was thinking about what, like, for people to get through and ask a question of what they like, what player that most represents the club. So if you're a Man City fan or Sheffield United,
yeah,
like, who do you think of when you think of your club? All-time 11, who's first person you put in? So not the most skillful or the best player you've seen, who represents your club. But then when I tried doing Sheffield United, I had two. I couldn't get it down to one. I had to have, you've got to have Billy Sharp. Yes. Obviously, he's Mr. Sheffield United.
He's the one. Billy Sharp's the one.
And then I had Chris Morgan, because his style of play is like solid, dependable, hard as nails. Very rarely missed a game.
Loved Moggs as a player. Everything he stood for. He was Jack Robinson that could defend. And, you know, that was awful.
Like I said, the best thing I can say about Morgan were everybody that played with him played better.
He were a leader, mate. You were an absolute. It weren't just because he were an hard nut. That were a big part of it. But
yeah,
he was a leader, a proper leader of men, and he
was my favourite captain.
Absolutely right. Me too. I thought he were absolutely superb player. Absolutely superb.
But yeah, anybody that wants to answer it, subscribe first and get your comments on.
You'll do for me, pal. You'll do for me.
Any player, whatever team you're on, and just a little reason why. You're flying through.
Ian has a little, love that, pal. Ian has a little smirk at the Ryan Brewster jab. George says, I wasn't as good as Michael Owen, but I too snapped my cruciate ligament at 17 and I was never the same. Pulling out of tackles and scared to get stuck in. So fingers crossed for Blaster. Up the blades up all the rambles. Well said, George. Yeah. It does possibly affect your mindset, doesn't it? McBurney for me is a great centre back, says Scott. Bruce McBurney, quality striker, says Maury. Not convinced, pal, if I'm honest. Kev says, talking about players who never recovered after injury, playing for the Blades, Paul Coots, Chris Wilder, and Jack O'Connell. Hope our Blaster recovers. Yeah, absolutely right.
Although we've seen Jack O'Connell lately, he's ripped.
Yeah, he is. He's
in gym, doesn't he?
Lee, and I suppose you could put Bash down with that as well. Bash, we had a career injury with not later on in his career, but it was evident in his testimonial just how how much damage that did to him because he could only do 5 minutes.
What 18 months on? In team, wasn't he?
Yeah,
before that.
Absolutely right. Lee says, Jim sent you under 21 regulations via message, different to the ESC info that Riff has given you, which is absolutely bang on, as you'd expect from Riff. A lot of mutual love between Riff and Lee. Love to see it. The owners of, thank you, Lee, for doing that as well, pal. The owners have thrown us under the bus with these development signings. We're now only able to sign players in a small pool in Europe with higher fees and more clubs looking. Do you not think there's been some thought to this, Scott? Do you not think there's a bit of a plan in place somewhere? I'm not convinced that they've thrown us under the bus.
That in the season into it.
Yeah, time will tell. Time will tell. Yeah. Riff says, not per season, it's until they can get a visa. If you loan them out to another international club, then it frees you up the ESC spots. So if we don't see them as being involved at all, then don't be surprised to see some of these players going on loan and we can use the other spots.
Yeah, Chelsea used to do it where, did they have a club in Belgium where they used to send them all off?
Yeah, it might have been Belgium.
They got visas quicker or something, I think, in Belgium or a certain country. and then that's where they bought a club basically, so they could send the players there.
Well, that's what we did, weren't it, with the beer shot essentially? With we were doing the tiered system.
Not to the same scale.
Yeah,
again,
slightly different.
Not the Dortmund thing.
Yeah, levels. We know that we recognise there's levels to the game. Yeah, forget it. This is just going to have to start from zero. You know that we're in second half. So where were we? First name on the all-time United team sheet, Billy Sharp, then Chris Basham, says Lewis.
Basham's a good shout.
Burnley just announced Zwanzebe from Ipswich. If only Wilder was in charge, he'd be straight in for Worrell. Yeah, he would. He would be straight in for Worrell, and I wouldn't blame him at all.
But again, we don't know if he's the type of player we want, though.
No, we don't.
We don't know what system, do we? If he wants that type of player, we'd think so.
Absolutely right, pal. So basically, first visa application determines if you are eligible via 75% internationals played in the last 2 years rule. Most players will fail this. Yes, they will. Maury says George Baldock was Mr. Sheffield United. Yes, he was. Jack says, do you think they'll be signing experience and upcoming young talent? It's like a nice balance. All right, okay, the two categories. Yeah, possibly, Jack, possibly. There's got to be a blend, aren't there, throughout the squad? Max says, I've just got a feeling they're being advised wrongly, Jimmy, like tuna man across the road. I certainly don't fear that we're in a similar boat to them. Not one bit. So did COH Sports buy United or United World? Because what happened to clubs like Beershot? They are still owned by United World, Jamie. COH Sports came in and bought Sheffield United, not United World. Kev says, agree Billy Sharp, Chris Morgan and Paul Stancliffe, plus Billy White, Hurst, great leaders on the pitch, up the blades, up the ramble. My dad, we were at a do end of last season, and my dad bumped into Paul Stancliffe. We obviously seen like Morgs and Billy Sharp and stuff like that, but he would tell me all, because Paul Stancliffe was slightly before my time, but he would tell me all about him and what a great player he was for United. Dan Smith also said to me on X, Jimmy, to keep an eye on players who are with Stellar Agency. Caceres is. Yes, I know. Yeah, I'm aware of that, pal. I am aware of that. This has been going on for a long time, though, Max, to be honest. It's not, these are like the who you know type of deals that were certainly going on when Chris Wilder was at the club as well, by the way. So that's just how business and football works. If you're in the same pool and areas as other people, then you know a bit more about them, don't you? Joe says, I think,
coming on.
Yeah, coming on. Mamouche, isn't it? Mamouche gone off, I think.
Yeah.
And Haaland on. It's not a bad sub. Not a bad sub.
I must say, you wouldn't say no, would you?
A bit like us last season when we were bringing Kiefer Moore on.
Yeah, it's like a lesser version.
It is, yeah. There's levels in there. They're not quite where we are.
Yeah, that's it, innit? I bet he still beats him in there, Kiefer.
I bet he does. And we are
Go.
Off. Right. That's me. I'm with the timer. Riff, who continues his explanation, which I appreciate, the ESC rules. You then have to appeal. Can't remember the exact cutoff. It's like top 50 FIFA coefficient countries and then get automatic approval on the appeal. Idea is it'll be harder to get into these national teams. Yes. Okay. Love that. Max says, never did I think someone with a Barney Gumble profile pic could be so clued up on visas. Riff knows his stuff. As you can tell by the comments there, but he's one of our Platinum Ramblers, often comes in and explains
very knowledgeable
people like me what is going on.
And me.
Yeah, thank you, Riff. Appreciate that, pal.
Oof. Marlon's just missed. Oh.
He's useless, that
Close.
Useless.
Keith would have had that in bottom corner.
It's just Ollie Mac light.
Oof, yeah.
Tell you what.
Ain't got his hold up play.
Yeah. It's not far away. It's not far. He came across a bit sharp, that one, but he weren't far away with Ireland.
Football.
Ben says, Mikhail Polendikov. Anyone heard of him? Apparently he's set to sign. Surely similar to Christian and Caceres. We'll have to wait and see, pal. Everyone that fails the second appeal, you can either pull the transfer or give them the ESC spot. Nice, thank you, Riff. I'm assuming the appeal costs a fair bit of brass. You'll have to let us know. To be fair, as long as they strengthen and fill the gaps on the squad, we have a good foundation. We'll be fine. I worry about you, Jack. In terms of being up and down, you're right. I think we will be all right, and I hope that's genuinely how you feel. Max says, you think Rob Page will come in for anyone for us now, the under-21 manager at Liverpool. Also, you see the link to the Scottish youngster we've signed from the same club as Ryan O'Neill. Yeah, I think we've signed the kid from Hamilton, haven't we? I may be wrong, but it was
I thought I heard that.
it was almost a done deal. He's only a 16-year-old kid, I think, from what I understand, but they're obviously a bit of a breeding ground for talented young players. So we've had a little look back there. In terms of Rob Page, I think he'll come in for anyone from us now that he's under 21 manager at Liverpool. Pill for Sheffield United's youth ranks. I think it's more likely that we might have access to a couple of their younger players now on loan. Just to let you know, we signed Cole Hay from Hamilton today. 75 grand compensation, only 16, left winger, one for the future. There you go, Kev. So there you go, Max. That is confirmation what we were just talking about. That's it, Cole Hay. And signed someone from Liverpool as well, a 16-year-old. Don't know about that yet. I'll worry about myself, says Jack. He has signed. He apparently impressed in training with us. Yeah, he's been on trial for a little while, hasn't he? Joe says Coburn joined Millwall for 5.5 million. They seem to mean business this year. Outsiders for playoffs again. And I'm not sure they'll be outsiders, to be honest. I think they'll be contenders. Yeah. Josh Coburn, you were with him last season, weren't he? Is he from Borough?
Yeah, I think so.
5.5 million is a lot of money. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but
yeah, there's other players out there. But again, it's what you can go into, I suppose.
Yeah,
like Birmingham are doing bits in transfer market a minute. The players they go in.
But Millwall sold Eze, didn't they, to Palace? Eze to Palace last season. They sold Zian Fleming to Burnley, which they'll now get the money from because it were only made permanent in the summer. So they'll have money to spend.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised they're splashing that sort of cash on Coburn, if I'm honest. I'd have thought they
could have got him. They've still got that Tanganga, haven't they? So
yeah.
He was right. Whichever release clause you believe.
It's
1.212.
I think it's 1.2, me. I think it's 1.2. Yeah. Matt says, hopefully we can start to see some young players coming in the next week or so. If not, I would be worried. I mean, the first team players, not under 21 players. He scored at the Lane last year, I think. Udi Coburn, it wouldn't surprise me. I think he did all right at Millwall. I'm not convinced he's a £5.5 million player. I think QPR could be dark horses for the playoffs. I think there's a couple of teams, Ben, that you could look at. QPR have just about signed Kwame Poku now, aren't they? 900 grand, which I think is a really good deal.
Definitely.
Swansea, I think, will be decent this year. They finished the season really strongly. So, like these these teams that weren't really in the mix last year, I'm not saying they'll all be playoff contenders, but there'll be no walkovers. I think it's going to be a really tough league. Here comes Doku, shot and just over. Just over, high, wide, and not very handsome. Was watching a podcast with Akpom earlier. He said he was close to signing with us when we signed Archer to him, and him and Archer were meant to come. Yes, that's true. That is true, Max. Can confirm. Coburn absolutely bullied Jackie Long. Yes, he did. Long throw when everybody did Lane last season. Late that I do remember that.
Yeah,
that is not my barometer. That is not my gauge of whether you're a good player or not. I'm afraid.
Yeah.
So he's not the first, and he will not be the last to do that.
I say he's not a bad player, is he? But
no, he's not.
And I
might be doing him a disservice, but can Blades honestly tell me that if we were linked with Coburn for 5.5 million, that they'd all be like, "Oh yes, brilliant, let's get him in"? I'm not sure they would. Would. There might be. I might be in the minority.
Well, to be fair, it's not their money, is it? So yeah, any player.
That's right. Yeah. People were happy for us to be linked to Tom Cannon, weren't they? So
yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, I still think Tom Cannon will come good. He's young enough now. Like I said, people just forget how young he is. Oh, goal. Got a bit. You nearly missed that, I know.
Haaland just taps it in, but he almost, like you said, almost fluffed his lines, didn't he? Almost fluffed his lines. Charlie says, I know. I got a photo of me and Paul Stancliffe at the Sheffield United centenary celebrations, he was an absolute player as a central defender. There you go. That's what my dad was telling me as well, Charlie.
Just then, my dad will say.
I think Millwall are up 12.5 million last financial year with transfer outs. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. That is about right, I think. League is so much harder this season than last, says Scott. Top 6, 3rd to 6 is the aim for me. Any better than that is amazing. By the time we get started, there will be no players left, says Jack. Joe says he goes with in the Risa category for me, a decent championship striker. I think he's better than Risa, but I'm not enamoured with Risa, if I'm honest. Or Reese, however we say his name. Matthew says, you think we'll splash big money on one player like 10 million plus to get fans excited? We could. Normally I would say no, but we did it last season, didn't we? Goal, by the way, says Bri. Yeah, we got it, mate. We got it. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about
noticed.
that. My dad's messaging me, which again proves he's not watching.
Not watching.
It might be, to be fair, because he has said no rush. Everything okay? Just on stream.
Yeah. I think, like I say, no matter what we do now, whoever we spend money on, I think we'll have to spend big money on one player, I think. Just for like
as a statement.
Yeah, I think we will. It depends. If we get to keep as players, then there's no point, because I don't see where we put them other than defence. Obviously, we ain't got any. But like a right back or a centre back, we do need desperately. But we've got a strong midfield, like we said earlier. And who are you going to buy a striker to take out Campbell and Cannon? They've already paid money for Cannon. Like, it's bad business if they don't play him.
Here's a question for you, and here's a question for the chat as well. And only
subscribe first.
Well, they'll have to, because you've got to be subscribed to comment. So you can only comment on this if you're subscribed, and it's free. It's absolutely free. It don't cost you anything. Just click the button. It really helps us out. Yeah, and like the video if you're enjoying what we do. Oh, hang on. Now the Bladesman's aggregating it. I'm going to ask you a question, so I'll remind myself of that. But September, Sofia, right back, Mikhail Polenkadov is likely to sign for Sheffield United. The 18-year-old Bulgarian was set to join Russian club Rostov, but has had a late change of mind. So that is the Bladesman aggregating the RB Sport article that a lot of the guys were saying in the chat. So thank you to everybody who got us in there early, and now the Bladesman is reporting it too. So that's good. My question to you, pal, is, and I'm going to ask the chat the same thing, if I offered you right now a top 6 finish, are you taking it?
Oh, yeah.
I am saying you're going to finish between 3rd and 6th. Between 3rd.
Yeah, it's the playoffs.
Yeah. Are you taking it? And are you taking it in the chat? I want to know.
No, I won't.
No.
I said yes at first, but now I'll take it.
You're not.
I'd gamble it. Because I don't, like I say, you've got Leicester. They're going to be, well, nobody knows what they're going to be like next season.
If we end up finishing 10th, I'm going to come back to you and say, Brett, I promised you I could get you 6th.
Well, most of the fans will be happy as long as we're playing a free-flowing attacking football. You know what I mean? Like we said with Wilder, is then that if we don't get 92 points and we don't beat Wednesday twice, we're gone. I like I say, it's hard to judge, isn't it? Until you've had first 10 games and you see how it goes, it's hard to judge. So,
City fan going by me.
Yeah. Well, you would, wouldn't you? I like you. Most people would take it. I just think I'd gamble. I've seen United do worse, so
I would too, mate. I would too.
I can see he's doing well.
So Max says, "What was Haaland doing?" Crazy, no, mate. Jamie says, "Playoffs again, ole ole."
Well, he's gone better. League One, ole.
No, we were League One last week, weren't we? We'll be winning a European Cup in a couple of weeks. Joe sirs, we need a signing just to get the fans going and give us an idea on what route the owners are going down. Yeah, I agree with that. Change of subject, says Kev. What improvements would you like to see at the lane in the next few years? The poles on the Kop are always a huge one. I think they do quite well, though, in general uplifts, to be honest. I think there are going to be some minor improvements coming. You just want to see us continually evolving. I haven't got many qualms about I like the fact that it's an old school ground. It's traditional. Yes, we can always get better at certain stuff. You know, that I'd like to have nicer food and beverages and things like
them
that.
Balti pies are bang on. Best thing about going to
Balti
leave.
pies are decent if you can get one.
Yeah, that's the thing, innit? They go quick.
Yeah, they do go quick. But
I used to have a mate, and he were a Newcastle fan, and he used to come to Lane with me. And like the only reason he'd come was so he could have them Balti pies. We went on Cobb once, and he went halfway through first half, come back with two Balti pies, one in each hand. And about 4 people all behind us all went, they all come back with one each. Like, just from smell.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. They are spot on, to be fair. Lee says, agree, Jim. Just wanted to point out that Jackie Longthrow got bullied and disappeared during a very important game at the business end of the season by a player who not many will know of or want. Bang average. He knows. Does old lonely. Positive Jack. You are.
We all know.
We all know. We all know. So what do everyone think? If the league even harder this season, is it the right season for data-driven signings? It's a massive risk. It won't be a risk if they all come off with it, Jack. So I don't think we can ifs and buts anymore. We know what road we're going down. We don't know how much influence the data-driven approach will have on the first team. The manager has already come out and said himself it's a support mechanism rather than the sole driver. He will have the final say on all players. He believes in the human element of it as well. You can see things yourself from going and watching players on the pitch. I want to talk to the player and make sure the character fits in. It gave me a lot of reassurance listening to Ruben Sayers talking about these sort of things.
AI signing though, it's just to identify players. I'm assuming they've still got to have the eye test before they come.
That's exactly what it was saying, isn't it? Really, it's that they can help you narrow the pool. That's the way I interpreted it, anyway. Yeah. And then we will decide from there. It doesn't mean you're just always going to pluck someone from Botdev, Plovdiv and stick him in as your centre forward, because he's not. You know, he's been playing in that league for a reason. He might. But if it's a young 17, 18, 19-year-old that plays with United under 21s for a couple of years, if we make 5 of those signings and one of them becomes half of the next Illiman and Die, it's been completely worth it. So I think it's not a massive risk for me, Jack. When you say it's a massive risk, I don't think it is. I think this at the moment it's low outlay, it's new, but these aren't players signed for our first team. Yeah. So
the massive risk we're getting rid of Wilder.
Correct.
The signings are nothing,
absolutely bang on. That is the massive risk. That's the gamble, and they knew what they were doing by taking that risk. So they've rolled the dice with our club, and we have got to hope that it comes up. You know,
that's it. Isn't it? We've got to get behind them now. It's still Sheffield United, so.
Absolutely, mate. Lewis says, I don't think United need any strikers. Just need to keep Ty and Kiefer fit by using them in a good rotation. Blood Ryanone as well. I think Ruben will only play one up top, right back and wingers. If he plays one up top, I'd expect Ryanone to go out on loan, personally. I think he'll play 2 up top, and I would still like to see a supplementary striker come in. Or, I don't know, do we use 2 10s with Hamer and O'Hare? It's completely up in the air. He does want to use wingers. That's something that he has been quite... forthright on. I think that's been able to be plucked out of what he said to the press.
There's not many players we can kind of turn into wingers though, so we are going to have to buy them.
I agree.
Other than we've got probably Brooks could probably make it in Sarika. We haven't really got anybody that you could really put as a winger, have we? Like training.
Yeah, agreed. So. And I'm not convinced Brooks is a legit winger. No. He played well on right wing at times, very well at other times, but I'm not sure it's his natural position. Matt says, to you both, with the players we've got now, which will step up or shock us this season like Peck did last season? If only, mate. If only we knew. Who would have said City Peck this time last year? Because we wouldn't, would we? None of us would. It could be any one of them. It could be one of the new lads, the new AI lads. Who knows?
I like Storiki's chances. I think if we're playing attacking football, that tends to go to his style. If we were being a bit more Wilder-esque and defensive,
that's a good shout.
It's hard to have him in it. So.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. Matt says, yeah, 100% would take top 6 for sure. Jack says no. Scott says yes. Louis says no to a top 6 finish. United are good enough to finish top 2. I agree. I believe they will as the squad stands. No excuses, says Jack. David says no. I can't go through Wembley again. No, me neither, to be fair.
I think, to be fair, though, if we keep Gus, he can drag us to top 6 on his own. So we just have to pad round him.
Yeah, possibly.
He did it last season.
Yeah, it is. Ian says we're winning the lot. I'm not
Good
taking
idea.
it. I'm not taking it. Need a bit of ambition. I think the owners and the squad. Oh, Joe, you've left me on a right cliffhanger there, pal.
I think that's a good thing as well. How many times as Sheffield United fans have we had ambition?
Exactly,
We actually thought, yeah, we're good enough for top 2. Because even when we've been promoted, sometimes we thought that. We've just gone through season.
And he says no chance. All these people say no chance. You've got to think, fancy our chances this season. You included, Brett. So that is surely a positive swing in terms of.
Or we just know our playoff scuffers.
Yeah, true. We don't want anything to do with playoffs. I'd rather be top 2 or 7th.
That's it. I'm not going to Wembley again.
Yeah, that's right. New manager, new formation, new players. Give me 6th now, says Scott. You could have said same last season. I know it weren't a new manager, but you could have said same last season.
Yeah.
Ben says Leicester will struggle next season. I think they have the potential to do a double dip. No way. No way. Surely not.
Depends on what they get hit with, though, isn't it? You don't know punishments they get.
Yeah, true.
And if you're hearing about how they're financially,
it's not like a Luton coming down. I mean, Luton were expected to go well, and they obviously had a shocking season. But Leicester have been I know the Premier League champions is the thing that they will get, but they've been an established Premier League club for such a long time. Wow.
I think as well, like when at the start of last season, I was worried that Sheffield United would do what Luton did, because we lost so many players.
Yeah, I was.
I weren't confident whatsoever. But that's why it still seems crazy to me, because I were expecting mid-table at best.
Yeah.
And we came so close to automatics. So.
Aye, we did. Kev says I'd take top 6 with 94 points. Lee says it's a no from me, Jim. Got to strive for the top 2. Accepting 3rd to 6th is just defeatist. Back the lads. Well said, mate. Well said. Tom says, please, no playoffs again. Yes, absolutely. Yes, Ian, champions up the blades. Can you imagine?
I don't know what they're moaning about. When we were 2-0 up, best game ever, that playoff.
Champions of the championship would just be unbelievable for us. Jack says we should be building to come second or win the league. Top 6 is poor. Should be, yeah, but you're the one that's panicking about it, Jack. So I'm just trying to offer you a playoff spot here, pal.
Well, to be fair, he's panicking about not signing anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Have we signed anyone?
Surely, come on. Where are we? Missed. It's because it's pushing comments up. Missed most of what you said, Jim. So no, fair dues. Yes, but autos must be a priority, says Ray. Wembley is a curse on us, though. Yeah, we've not done well, have we, pal? Riffs has been busy at work, so not been able to check the Platt group. What's everyone thinking about fixtures? I think it's ridiculous. I don't think we've got an easy run of games till April. I think we start off well, Riff. I think there's a really tricky January looks horrendous for us. And then I think towards the end it looks favourable, but you never know, do you? You never can tell what's going to be.
We thought that with Plymouth, didn't we? Last season.
Yeah, we did.
All and that. I'd bank them down for 9 points.
Maury's just checked Mikhail Polendakov on Football Manager and tells us that he is 179 centimeters and 77 kilos. I'm not quite sure where the weight comes into it, pal, really, but stat bombers if you like. Player to surprise, Caceres, says Bry. It'll surprise me if he ends up being a footballer, to be honest. There you go, Jimmy. Cup of miners gone off. Yeah, absolutely. I spotted it as well. I spotted it definitely. I would definitely watching the game, David. 8 minutes ago. Balti pies are like you what, mate?
Doku and Rodri off.
Yeah, looks like young Phil Foden coming on.
That's it.
65 minutes on the clock, not 20 as you can see on ours, but there you go. Gwendagon. Have they spelled that right? I don't know. Anyway, Lewis says Balti pies are like the Drumfield kebab. Ask Jamie. Never done me any harm. Balti pies are nice, but meat and potato is the standard for footy. No, the Balti pies at the Lane Bry. The Balti pies, and I appreciate it's probably a more modern twist than what people are used to at the football. But oh my word,
potato pie at home, Balti pie at football.
Correct. Jamie says, I know that we try to keep things away from politics, but did you see the Juventus squad at the Trump press conference? What a strange link-up. Yes, we do try and keep things away from politics, Jamie, so thank you for mentioning politics on a non-political stream. Give yourself a slap on the wrist. I'm looking forward to seeing Jay Stansfield at the Lane. This player has fantastic work rate. Hope we can keep him quiet. Yeah, possibly, mate. Yeah, I hope so too, clearly. I'd be more bothered about keeping him quiet in the league. Ben says, I think a fit and proper Tom Davies in a CS, nearly got done there, deep playmaker role could surprise a few. I think he could be a surprise player for us this season. Would love that, Ben. I think there's a player in there with Tom Davies, undoubtedly.
I forgot he even played for us.
Well, there you go. That's another example of an injury hit player, isn't it? And who can...
Well, same with the stack midfield. I just forgot about him.
Absolutely, yeah.
He is a player.
Yeah. Riff says, Thomas Frank took 3 years to get promoted and managed it without parachute payments. It takes a while to change the whole ethos of a club, but really looking forward to it. Nice one, pal.
Exactly. You've got to get behind it. So I think that's the exciting part, isn't it?
I agree. It's a project, isn't it?
Long term.
It's a project. Max says, Brian and Mbeumo medical at Man U next week. Scott says, Ryan can play left wing or right wing, but would you waste him out there? Not for me. It's too broad to put him out wide. Do you mean Ryan One? I don't know where the and Cannon is linked to Jack. Super positive. Jack says, I'm excited to see Burrows, Femi and Brooks development this season. Oh, you must have put and Cannon along with that. Leicester will just break the rules again. Max says, where has the Maitland-Niles link come from? Me. There's no actual link. So it was just something me and my mountain were talking about.
Oh,
this morning, another goal for...
That keeper was shocking.
It's 4-1. It's 4-1 to Manchester City.
That defence looks awful.
It was terrible defending from Juve.
All over.
And
so they put a bid in for Robinson.
And City just pounce. So yeah, sorry. The Maitland-Niles thing was me and my mountain discussing it this morning because he used to play for Sayers at Southampton, and he's now with Lyon, who have just been relegated to Ligue 2. Haaland cuts inside, puts a lovely through ball through. Oh my! It's lovely football from City. The keeper is stays on his line way too long. Yeah. Doesn't anticipate what's happening with it, and he's done completely. Phil Foden taps it into an empty net. Yeah. Where were we? Susan says, Hecky included the AI numbers into his analysis of players and performances. I don't think we were ready then. Are we now? I'd like to hope so, Susan. A lot of work has gone into this AI model. But again, if it's just an assist, if it's just there to support rather than drive the recruitment, then I think it's a positive. I think a lot has been made of it. And I'm not convinced that any of these players that have been signed, including the new kid at right back, are expected to be first-team ready players. So it may be a long-term build of the academy as well, in terms of, we bought Sidi Peck. Here's an example for you. 2 seasons ago, maybe 3 seasons ago, we signed a 16-year-old, must have been 17 actually at the time, because he'll have been on a professional contract. We signed Sidi Peck from Arsenal, 150 grand we paid. If we'd have signed Sidinio Pekovic from Botdev Plovdiv and signed him for 150k and put him in academy like we did with Sidi Peck, would we all be saying the same thing now? I don't. It went completely under the radar for Sheffield United. It were a domestic player that we brought in from somebody else's academy. He went in our academy, stayed there 2 years, developed well, not outstandingly well, but got a chance this season in first team. Absolutely smashed the door down and took his place when he were ready. So some of these players might not make any impact on the first team for 2, maybe 3 years. Caceres won't, because I think he's 21 already. But this 18-year-old kid, or whoever it is, if he's 18, did I read that right? But he's got 2-3 years to... Femi Sariki's 21, 22, and he's only just broken into the side. Tom Cannon, like you say, he's only young himself, but there's time for these players. Time is on their side. So
I think, like Paul Mountain said the other day, I think as well, that when they're buying them now, they're looking more at their attributes, as in, like, they're wanting to buy athletes. If they're playing high tempo, they're wanting to looking at the the size, the endurance, the speed. You know what I mean? Rather than the talent, they're looking at the
Absolutely,
raw
mate.
stats. So you can develop a player. You can't make them grow a foot, or you know what I mean,
He
get a
knows
foot quicker.
he knows his stuff. That Man Mountain bloke.
Oh yeah.
Don't tell him that though. Riff says, I think Ceres is a good shout for a breakout season. I think it'll be suited to Sellers' style for the vids I saw of him. Granted, it's a step up, but when he gets the ball, he goes direct. Don't you'll be fooled by them vids, Riff. Don't you'll be fooled. You'll pull your reputation down. I'm very impatient. I always worry, but I still think we can win it, says Jack.
Yeah.
Well, that's why, you know, we're all here together out with Pal to try and talk through it so you calm yourself down a little bit at times. Jack's up and down more than Zebedee, says Ian. Football manager for you, says Maury. I knew you were on that football manager getting them stats. I used to do it for my dad when he was scouting, to be fair. Sorry, Andy the Blade. You're not watching, are you? That serves you right. I'll reveal all your secrets. I think so, Riff and Tommy Cannon to come good too. Balti Pies are the goat, says Maury.
Yeah.
Gwenda's gone. Where's she gone? Lee says player to make a breakthrough from the 21s, Baptiste or Easton. Easton's an interesting shout. I think he's a little bit slight though, isn't he, Lee? I like him as a player. I'm not sure whether he's stacked enough. Baptiste has clearly got the stature for it. We're so short of centre backs, we might have to play them out of necessity. It's not a bad shout. It's not a bad shout. I think Baptiste more so than Easton. I would love to see Easton get a shout though. Easton out on loan maybe for the first half of the season. Fresh start for Cannon under Sayers. Be interesting to see how he does with a pre-season under him too, says Jamie. I'm excited for Tom Cannon this coming season. I am very excited for him. I'm not look, I'm gonna preface this, and I hope I'm wrong. I'm not sure we get the same season out of Tyrese Campbell as the one we've just had. I worry a touch that we have seen. Oh, City! It's going to be a corner. I worry a touch that we've seen prime Tyrese Campbell, and there's no reason for me to. It's just, you know, I get a bit of Lundstrom vibes from it, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong that he was riding a wave of momentum, and I really want him to succeed because I love the fact that he was scoring goals, and he's obviously his dad and everything else, and playing for Sheffield United, I want him to do well. So that is a concern I've got going into this season, that Tyrese Campbell won't be at the same level he was last season. But in contrast to that, I think Tom Cannon will have a much better chance of succeeding next season than he did coming in halfway through this year. You're shaking your head, mate. Go on then. Go on.
I'll go different. I reckon Campbell will do better, if not as good, because
I hope you're right.
He's the most pacey player, and I think how they want to attack, I think he'll play better into that system. I don't think we'll get the same kind of levels from Kiefer Moore, though. He won't be as good this year as he were last.
Dear me. I thought he looked all right, Kiefer Moore, when he got fit. I thought he looked all right. Me and my dad were big.
I know I've always had a bit of a moan about, oh, that's a goal and a half.
What a goal that is, by the way. Is that Savio or whatever it's called?
Yeah.
What a finish.
Crossbar and in.
What a beautiful goal.
Now, I feel bad with Kiefer Moore because I do slate him. Like, in air, he's brilliant. But on floor, when it balls to his feet, his touch, and he just looks nervous. But that's not his game. So you can't really moan at him. If you've got somebody that's that size and that physicality and that good in air, and you're playing through balls to his feet, it's not you can't really moan that he's not setting it alight, can you really? It's like if you had Campbell on his own up front and you're launching in long balls up to 6 foot, you know what I mean, with 6 up defenders in it.
Sorry, just a bit of pinball in box, and it's first time curling effort. It's not quite in postage stamp top corner, but it is off the bar, and it bounces off the underside of the bar, and then bounces on the floor, and it's the roof of the net. You love to see it. What a
you can tell how many people are forward. A kanji for every forward player.
Yeah, what a lovely finish that is. What a lovely finish. But yeah, you're right. You're right in terms of what you were saying about Keith. Where we last one? Fresh start for Cannon under Sayers. Yeah. So he doesn't tell you last one. It highlighted it. So Goal City. Thank you, Bri. We're about up to date. Oh no, we're not. That was the one before. Yeah, if Tom Davies stays fit, I know it's a big if. He's our best midfielder, says Ian. Sorry, not so.
Really?
Oh no. Oh no, we've got the new Brewster for next season. Oh no, Ian, I love you. You know I love you, pal. I love everything you do for the channel. He's a platinum rambler. He's not only a platinum rambler, he is a mod on this channel. With on the Blades Ramble channel. We're trying to get you for this channel, but there's a problem with your email that I've yet to sort. And he is mostly known for being the gatekeeper. He keeps the order, not only in the chat, but in the platinum chat, where it can get a little bit tasty at times, and people are scared to cross Ian.
Yeah, I'm not giving his breath.
I'm not scared to say to you, Ian. Well, I am a little bit. Brewster will go this summer. I'm convinced of it. And Tom Davies is not our best midfielder. I think naturally he's very gifted as a midfielder. Savinho, great finish that, by the way.
Yeah.
But we've got midfielders include Gus Hamer, Vinny Souza, Ollie Arblaster, Callum O'Hare, Mr. V-Zone, Callum O'Hare. You could class him as a midfielder, an attacking midfielder. So I'll let you two clash on that.
You were trying to start a war.
Yeah, I'll let them clash. No, to be honest, they're good mates, so I'm not going to do that. Also, apparently meant to be looking at a winger from Basel, says Max. I think that's the one that Helen and Lee were talking about earlier, Max, to be fair. Jamie Dumpling says Juve have been really poor, even in Serie A for quite a few years. Not sure how they even qualified for the tournament, to be fair. It depends on what you pay the referees in Juve's
Surely.
unless Brentford get busy this window, I fear they may go down. Gives the boost to the 3 promoted. I think that's a common misconception, in my opinion. I may be doing you a disservice there, Scott, but I think Brentford have time and time again just sort of upset the apple cart in terms of surprise people and gone again. Who's is it Kelleher? They've lost Flecken, the goalkeeper. Brought in Kelleher from Liverpool. Loads of people were after. I think Leeds wanted him. They beat Leeds to his signature because they're an established Premier League club that Leeds are yet to be. And there's loads of things like that they've got the edge over clubs. They have got a brilliant scouting model, brilliant recruitment. Yeah. Brian Mbeumo might leave. That's a shame, but they will replace him with somebody else. Wissa might go even. Thomas Frank is obviously the big thing, the big man to leave. Keith Andrews, I'm not convinced about, but I would still be trusting the board if I'm a Brentford fan. So, any thoughts on Brentford, Brett?
No, I think they'll find another couple of gems that'll keep them up. I think they do it all the time, don't they? Like I said, their scouting systems amazing. Like,
agreed.
The money they get, they always find a couple of players, a bit like Brighton. So I'm not that worried about them, to be honest. I think, like you always said, they've got 3 that have got promoted. I think favourites to go back down again. There's got to be 3 other teams worse than them.
Yeah,
to stay up. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, agreed. Yeah. Agreed. I was trying to think of a stat then that somebody was saying the other day. Anyway, it'll come to me if it's good enough. What a touch by Haaland, says Max. I think Brentford will struggle without Thomas Frank, says Bry. Time will tell, pal. 300 goals for club and country for Haaland, and he's younger than me. I'm only 25. Wow. Josh says the right back looks like it's Mihail Palendikov, looks like, says Josh. Yeah, to be honest, I was told it was a first team right back that we were looking at. This clearly isn't a first team right back, so don't be worried about that. He's younger than me as well, Max, says Ian. Susan says, I'm all for the new approach. It's got to be a part of what we do now. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think the Blades are blunt for a few seasons, says DJ. We shall see, pal. Welcome to Dan James in the chat. Jack says, because you can grow them and send them to Turkey for knee surgery. What conversation are you in here, Jack? A good night from Bridlington, up the Blades, up the Ramble. Have a good time in Brid. I was in Filey earlier in the week. Have a good one, Kev. Thank you for joining us, pal. The guy who said earlier we were in for Doyle with Brum, Tom Collarhouse, or whatever his name is, was the first journal to break Hamer to us back in day. Yeah, he's a credible journalist, but again, he's not said. Has he said we were in for Doyle, or has he said we retain an interest in Doyle? It's looking at the fine print. Yeah. LFC Passion, hey up, pal, says Dave the Nose. He really knows. He certainly does. He certainly does. In fact, Dave the Nose, he really knows. He's not here, but I just wanted to play a song because somebody mentioned it. So thank you, LFC Passion, for giving me an excuse. I think Campbell will be fine, Jim. I hope you're right, Bri. I hope you're right. My worry about Campbell is he blows out of his backside after 65 minutes. Lisa's fair point on Easton's build, Jim, as the same happened with Sidney Peck. Was quite slight and small, even when on loan at Oldham. Got a bad injury and physically matured during his long rehab. Campbell could do what Clark did and fall off completely after one season, like Leon did in 18-19 when Didsey came in. I really hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong about Tyrese Campbell. It's just, it's just a feeling I've got that would. Well, maybe if I temper my expectations about how he'll do this season, that's probably the better way to put it. Just
a natural blade, aren't you? Worst case scenario, build up.
Yeah, I try and be positive all the time, but I'll always be honest, and I just worry that he'll be expected now to go and probably get 15, 20 goals across the season, and it's not easy to do. And I think you might feel a bit more pressure this season to perform.
I think as well, the only thing that'll help him, I think, way that Sayers is that people think Sayers is going to play.
I love how you're straight on with Sayers, by the way. Love that. Love that.
It's only because I don't want Dave the Nose.
I know. He really knows.
But I think he likes his teams to attack as a team, like the attacking blocks. So I think there'll be more support from where Wilder last season, a lot of time Campbell were on his own. With armour through balls and him running past, you know what I mean? So I don't know if he'll get as many goals, but I think he'll play all right.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Louis says, I know that we all worry about how we will do next season, but we appear to be in a strong and progressive phase. We should be thankful. Things could be worse. Just look down the road, up the blades, up the ramble. Absolutely brilliant point, Lewis. Absolutely brilliant, pal. Said like a true leader of a Sheffield United team. Has anybody experienced that? I'm not entirely sure.
Who managed him?
Who managed him? Yeah, and where did he play? And was he captain? And did he score?
Yeah.
I need a new underdog to get behind with Rian going to Ian. And Brian says, has Rian gone, Ian? Not yet, but he will. I'll take Bruce's place for half the money, Ian. I'll try hard and get injured a lot as well. Oh, you can talk to your mate Wilder while he's sat on bench, can't you? Unbelievable. Does City play Real Madrid now, says Max? If they win, no idea, pal. No idea. If says Bri, yeah, if they win it, yeah, they will. I don't know who they end up playing. That is that 5-2?
I don't know.
Brett, I am known to be useless at these watch-alongs. I need to be carried by my co-host. So there you go.
I'm too busy looking at comments, same as you. It is 5-2.
You're unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I think what we've established is if you would go on future watch-alongs.
Oh, it's a VAR check.
Oh, it can't be because
Let's go. It's
goal. Thing now.
It's a goal. All right, it's over.
So if you, comeback's on. Comeback's on with 6 minutes to go. If you do when you do another watch-along, hopefully it'll probably be with somebody that's better at watch-alongs than me. So you can enjoy reading the comments, and George can be doing the game. That will probably.
Yeah, I was too worried about George. George actually commentates on it.
I know, but I need that because I'm too busy like you, jumping into comments and having a chat with everybody that's here.
That's it, isn't it? It's better to have chat.
Mr. V, back in the comment section. Nice to see you,
pal. Oh, Mr. V.
Evening, Jimmy and Brett. I'm still waiting for Ian to come on a live stream, and then it's my turn. Up the blades, up all the rambles. Like and subscribe. Right, so that's the little playoff, isn't it? Because Mr. V and Ian, legends of the channel, it has to be said, huge long-term supporters of us, as are other people, by the way. But obviously, these are two of our main players as well. I didn't notice this, but Mr. V said he'll come on after Ian comes on. So. Right, that's interesting. That's something for me to nudge at.
Get an hot topic on.
Yeah, more than well. James, they know that. They know that. It's an open door, isn't it? Open door to Platts. I think Robbo will be the standout player this season, but for the wrong reasons, says Ray. I don't think Robbo will be playing for us this season.
No.
That's why I smile when I think about it. Ian says, I do enough, Mr. V. Got me dancing again, Jimmy, says David. I don't know what did I do? What did I do? You can always do a little bit more, my friend, says Mr. V. Oh, I tell you what, there's a bit of needle now. A little bit of needle. I don't want two of our main lads to be falling out. Jamie says, throwback to one of my favourite moments of the season where Hamer and Suter did a post-match interview together and Gust used a stool. Yes, I remember that. I remember that. That got circulated, didn't it, online, where he stood on the stool. It was like a washing up ball turned over or something. So funny. The counter to that for Campbell is he will have a full pre-season. Last season he hadn't trained. Right. Very true, Jack. Very true. But the counter to your counter would be, oh, here comes Erling. No, just pushed out wide. He came in with zero expectation. There was no spotlight on him. Nobody was expecting him to be the main man or anything like that. He has not gone into a season before with this much expectation on him. I'm not saying he's not capable of doing it. I'm just saying I worry that it will weigh a bit heavier on him this season. So we can't expect him to get 15, 20 goals like that because we've seen
teams all play for him.
Yeah, but Tom Cannon on the polar opposite came in with a huge weight around him in terms of the price tag, and that brought huge expectation. And he didn't cope very well with it. I think now that it's all settled and he'll have a fresh season and a pre-season with the team to go at it, I think Tom Cannon will be a much better player, personally. Bryce says 5-2. Thank you for the heads up. This bloke with 100... Oh, he's back again, Scott, with his rumour mill. This bloke with 114k followers is annoying me now. Just tweeted again, as per sources in the UK, Hamer is available for 8 to 12 million. Who is he talking to? Wednesdayites? Yes, mate. He's talking to
Leeds. They seem to think he's already gone.
Yeah, that's probably the first of 3 installments, 8 to 12 mil.
Hopefully.
Josh says, I know you aren't so into the stats, so it would be great to get someone who knows a bit about stats on the channel to explain how it all works in future. Thanks, Josh. You're not very good at this. So can we get someone who knows more about it? Wounded. My pride is hurt. But yeah, we've got.
I know you don't know what you're talking about, Jimmy, but get somebody else on.
I've been rumbled. It's taken nearly 3 years, 2.5 years we've been doing this, and I've finally been rumbled. So what I will say to that, Josh, and I'm joking with you, pal, because it's just different to what it's not my strength. It's not something I'm overly interested in. But as you've seen in the comment section, Lee comes on the channel an awful lot. I wouldn't say he's a stat man, but he likes to sort of delve into loads of different areas for his knowledge base and stuff like that. There will be people. We've got a Statman Jack. There's a lad in the Platinum comments called Statman Jack who came on and did some Ramble on the Road stuff with us last year. So yes, we have got people that can come on and contribute, and they're more than welcome to. They're always welcome, as they know, to do that. So yeah, we can get some varied content, pal. No problem at all. I don't have to be on that stream if you don't want me to. Nah, Ian, even Connor has Hamer valued at about 20 million. Played Dave the Nose. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, of course I did. Sorry, David. He's reading one lead, Scott. Probably, Ian. Probably. So I don't think we'll need to expect that, in my opinion. If Sayers is all about team attacking, in my opinion, the midfield need to step up this go around. I get your point, but he'll be thriving with confidence. You'd hope so, pal. You'd hope so. Yeah. Matthew, thank you, pal, for your super chat. Really appreciate that. Love what you do, Jimmy. So happy to be a part of the Platinum family. Keep it up, pal. Here's £5 on me. Thank you, mate. Very much appreciated. That's very kind.
He thinks you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, he didn't go that far. He just said, that's what I do. So, yeah. He worded it perfectly. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that.
Football manager at side next time.
Just get Lee Edridge texting me all the time. Lee, what does this mean?
Lee Edridge, like Google.
It's like my dad used to do to me back in the day. So it's fine. It all comes around. Who's the bloke with 114k, Scott? It's Rick Elfrink. Right, there you go. Max says he tweeted Ivan Persic story about him signing a new deal at PSV. And Fabrizio commented, so obviously a respected journo. He said Gus is one of many options. He's 28, and I think PSV will want to resale if they spend 8 to 12 million, Scott. Look, Lee is a source I'm coming back to here. Lee is not an established source, clearly, but in terms of, I called him the voice of reason when he mentioned this on the stream earlier, in the fixture stream, and again tonight. PSV's maximum record fee is something like 15 million euros. They are going to have to spend, here comes City again, and it's well saved. They're going to have to spend something like 22 to 25 million euros to get Gus Hamer, a man who you will have possibly 3 years maximum at his peak, and then no resale value. It's not a goer. It's not a goer.
I think, of course, like you say, there's nobody's going to pay what we want for him. I think that's the main thing, because he's too important for us. It's like you say, your value is how important you are to the team. It's not
correct.
anybody else's.
Correct. We could, like Jimmy Dunn, could have left QPR for 2.5 million in January if we'd have gone to that level, but we refused to do it. And now he's stayed with QPR, re-signed a deal, and he's probably worth 5+ into. So
You were their player of the season, wasn't it?
yeah, for those that were saying why didn't we do it, that's why you do it, because there's always a danger that it don't happen. Let's have a look. Never heard of the loser, Scott. Shola Amiobi. What's Shola Amiobi got to do with anything, James? Does anybody remember Shola Amiobi? Any of the does Positive Jack or Jamie Dumpling know Shola Amiobi is without googling?
I know the song.
You are.
I know the song. My mate was a Newcastle fan. That's all he used to sing.
Go on then. Give us a song.
Oh, surely I'm your baby. Sing it all the time. Just repeat it.
It's
like on Pompey.
It's Okie Kokie, isn't it?
Yeah. They used to do it when they were in pubs, jumping up on bar and stuff.
Who were the I want curly hair too? Who were that centre half that they had at Newcastle with curly hair? Oh, da, 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 you are the love of my life. I can't remember. Anyway.
Colaccini, wasn't it? Is it Colaccini?
Colaccini. Oh, Colaccini, you are the love of my life. Oh, Colaccini. I'm not going to carry on that song. It's rude, but...
no, better than my singing.
The Still thing was against the Pigs, I
full
think.
Full time.
Full time, yeah, we caught that.
I've been watching it.
Of course we've been watching. Right, full time, 5-2 to City. I tell you what, Juve were rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. Still think we're against the Pigs, I think, says Max. Made me smile, you cheeky pair. You cheeky pair. Hint taken. I'll stop dining out. Great watch. You will not. I don't believe you, Lewis. I do not believe you, pal. I'll take that. You might stop dining out tonight, but it will be back. Oh,
He'll be down like kebab house.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what I'm going to start calling him? Uncle Albert. During the Bremel Lane match, when I played for Chris Wilder, I was there. He's like,
he made him
Albert,
captain, you know,
during the war. That's what he is. I'm telling you.
War.
Yeah. Oh, dearie me. Up the ramble, 10K before opening day. Thank you, Lewis. Top man. He's been a brilliant addition to our platinum group. Jamie Dumpling with the £5 super chat.
Wow.
Unbelievable. What is this
He's gone
about?
big time, hasn't he?
What is this about? He's trying to go on another watch along, isn't he?
He's throwing your crumbs.
I'll look you by 1p, Matthew. So have that. Be interesting to see what signings are in the Chef FC game and where players like One Marsh and Curtis go. Who's going to that? Thank you, Jamie, by the way. You don't have to do that. That's very, very good. Very good of you. Who's going to that Sheffield FC game, pal? Who's going to be trying out some of their new gear at that Sheffield FC game? Jamie Dumpling's going. That's right. Josh says, I know less about stats than you, pal. But if the stats of the future of the club, would be good to know if the club looks at more than the FOTMOB basics.
Has he been looking behind the screen?
I am insulted. Look, mate, I'll be honest. All joking aside, and I don't mean this to be sort of anything other than just honest. I did. You might not be aware. I don't talk about it often. I was a professional scout myself for 7 years in the EFL. Look, I worked for Rotherham, Colchester, and Bristol Rovers. Nowhere near the level my dad got to. My dad were a Premier League scout for 20 years. So I do know stats, and I do know what to look for in players, or I seem to think I do. And certainly, obviously, I got paid to do that. It's just subjective, to be fair, because you're only employed for your opinion and on things like that. But so what I'm saying is I can provide stats and break down stats, but I don't do it because it doesn't really interest me. And that is the honest truth. I don't. If somebody's just relaying a load of stats to you, I find it really dry. So whilst I can look at a load of stats about a player and make an assumption on him, I genuinely don't think you can ever get an idea the full idea of what the player is going to be like. And my dad will tell you the same, and he's obviously a lot more qualified than me to do it. Stats will only tell you a certain amount.
I was going to suggest you do like a stream where, like, your days as a scout, you and your dad, like how it works and stuff.
Yeah,
but you just said you're not bothered. Doesn't interest you.
No. Into the AI deep diving into the data of a player doesn't interest me. I don't mean like I don't think it's interesting that we're looking at data, because I do. But if I was to, like, on my 10-minute transfers, if I spent, I generally try and keep it. What do we think it's realistic? What sources it come from? These are a little bit of the stats about it. Josh is asking for the stats here, and that's absolutely fine, because it's not what I've been doing. So he's just asking for something different, but it's not something I'm interested in too much to be so stats heavy on it personally. So
I think I agree with you, to be fair, though. That's why I always said that's why I preferred over another Sheffield United channel, so to say, that this is a bit more.
It's horses for courses, I think it's everybody offers something different, and that's absolutely it's no slight on anybody at all. It's just on this channel. My gauge for this channel has always been doing what I would want to watch, and this is and when I enjoy the content I'm producing, that's when I'm at my best. I think personally, I can get you if it's not going to be me, Josh, because I don't want to sort of be falsely sort of putting on a face and stuff like that. Oh, look at these numbers and blah blah blah. These got 56% tackle percentage and 50. It's not my bag. But if somebody else is more interested in it, one of our Platinum Ramblers, for example, and they're confident enough to go on stream with it, I'm okay with something like that as well. So that's why I've brought more people on, because not everybody's going to love how I do things. And, as much as I'm deeply offended by that, some people might be, I'm not joking, obviously. Dave the Nose presents in a completely different way to me. I think he's a lot more straight than me. But I think he's very reasoned with a lot of things he says. He's very thoughtful. Man Mountain is a bit similar to me in a lot of ways, but very opinionated, and we sometimes disagree on stuff. So that's why we like a bit of variety on the channel. So I love this sort of stuff from Josh in terms of the feedback that what people want to see on the channel. I'm also conscious that it might not be what the majority want as well. So we just have to find a balance somewhere along the line, because we can't be all things to all people, but knowing what people want helps me get there, if that makes sense. So let me just find where Josh's comment was so I can keep up with the rest before we get off. Shola Amayobi sounds like some kind of drug. Who am I thinking of? Who's the singer that sounds like Shola Amayobi? There's a female singer from around that time. I might be wrong. Full time, says Bri. Thank you, Bri. My son Jordan used to share a house with his brother Tommy Amayobi, when they both played in Iceland. Jordan said Shola was one of the nicest men he'd ever met. Oh, nice. It's a view from the dumpling. It says, listen, he's not going too big for his boots in that boy. Colaccini, thank you, Maury. During the war, yes, absolutely right. During the charity match, David says, but unlike Uncle Albert, the shill didn't go down with Captain Lewis. The ship didn't go down with Captain Lewis. I can whack him with my spanner, Jimmy. No. I know you're a mod. I love it, mate. This is what we're about. We want opinions. He said it respectfully-ish. Jimmy, what player did you scout that went on to have the best career? And Jamie, I'm not getting into this on this strip, but Danny Ings. But other than that, we're not going into this. There's probably a stream for it in there. A scout that runs a YouTube channel with no prep. Those things don't usually. Why would you say that? Wow. Why would you say that? I think I lean on a little bit of, that helps me. I think, to be honest, Jamie, I think that helps me that I've got a bit of a background, so I'm not completely rudderless when I am not prepared a lot of the time. That's probably.
Well, they haven't seen all the backstage stuff I've seen today.
There you go. There you go. So thing is though, I think that adds to the flow of what we present, because I'm not trying to pretend to be something I'm not. You don't expect to look. I want to get more professional and I want to get better. I always want to improve, but we're not. I'm just a fan like everybody else. I turned the camera on and started talking to it about Sheffield United, and people. It's grown. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? That's what it was. So Brett, the Ramble is the Blades channel, though, mate. Thank you, Bri. Thank you.
It is. Damn right.
Thank you, Brett. Appreciate it, mate. Isn't it the raw numbers? It's hearing. It is. It isn't the raw numbers. It's hearing someone who knows what they mean explaining, and to us who don't. The content is absolutely top notch, and I wouldn't change a thing. Thank you, mate. You see, he didn't mean anything by it. He didn't mean anything by it. He's just saying it'd be interesting to hear a different slant. So I think I'll certainly take that on board. And if somebody's interested in taking on that slant of things, then we can possibly look to include it. No problem. Sholarama, thank you. Yes, Sholarama.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you see.
I remember that.
There you go. I knew it. Oh, gotta trust your instinct sometimes. Brett, how have you found your first watch along, pal?
Really good. I really enjoyed it, to be fair.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
I'm a bit worried about having to commentate, but seeing as I've not watched half a match, it's been brilliant.
Yeah, I know we sort of briefly touched on it beforehand. It will be the majority Sheffield United talk coming from the comment section. And we missed, 3-4 goals because we were talking about Sheffield United.
7-goal match.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not used to that with Sheffield United.
Yeah, absolutely right. So I am, when am I back? So we've got a 10-minute transfer coming up tomorrow. That will be at 10 o'clock tomorrow, back to the normal time. It was moved slightly earlier today because I knew I was out with the fixtures earlier. So I've done the fixtures video. I've done a 10-minute transfer video for tomorrow morning that'll be released at 10. And then I'm live again at 7 o'clock tomorrow night for reviewing all the week's transfer rumours. So we can jump in there, have a chat about it. Might have some stats for Josh. We'll wait and see. I might not have time, to be fair. Just some love for Brett that I want to get in. Great stream again, lads. Top class, Brett, says Ian.
Cheers, gatekeeper.
Jimmy, I love the way you present this show, natural, and as a fan, thank you, David. I don't know any other way, pal, to be honest. Lewis, incredible, pal. Great stream, lads. Here's more for the Ramble pot. Thank you, mate.
Cheers,
really appreciate it. Anything planned for tomorrow while I'm at work? Yeah, just gone through it, Jack. Hopefully you call that, pal. Keep it Ramble, people, says Bri. Do you know when the new kit will be out, Jimmy, says Max, just squeezing every last drop out of the stream? No, I don't, pal, to be honest. I don't. Top job, Brett. Smashed it, says Maury.
Cheers, Maury.
And Jimmy. Thank you, Maury. Appreciate that. Always looking out for me as the lad. Right. Thank you to everybody that's joined us. Brett, you can stay for 2 seconds while it goes off and we'll have a chat afterwards. And I'm going to try and end it the right way by saying, well, I might not have to say it, but I'm going to start it off by saying, come on, you red and white wizards.
Up the Blades.